We are Brap. We are live, and we have an awesome show for you tonight. We got Mr. Badbit returning as our special guest, and we'll be doing a gaming giveaway in the live chat. And always, we love gaming, so let's get the show started. Let's get the show started. All right, everyone. Welcome to another Brap. Sorry that we are a little bit late. We were having a great conversation about PC gaming and how PC is the best place to experience the Xbox ecosystem. And I actually tweeted that out, and some people are very upset at the moment. I don't get it, Slow-Mo. Why are they upset? Why do they always have to bring in the price of PC? How come they always forget the cost of the television plus the console?
How come the price of PC is always some astronomical price that it's always like you spent $5,000 on your PC? Like what? Why would I spend that much money? Anyone look seriously, like and this is no shade to anyone who's done this. If you spent over $3,000 on your PC, you overspent. Sorry, but that version of RAM you got for $500 with all the fancy RGB lights, and it spits out fireworks, every now and then and stuff like that was all unnecessary. It doesn't perform any better than the non-RGB RAM. It's just crazy.
Slow-mo Mac Tower wheels cost $800, player.
Exactly. Like, look, you can build an amazing PC for well under that. I built the PC. My PC is better than both of these stupid consoles coming out. Yes, that's it, stupid consoles. How much some of y'all. Trigger.
How much did you spend on your? Now you are going to get like we are going to get next generation experiences on our PC, right? But we didn't spend $2,000 on our PCs.
No, well, not at all. Even with my extra monitor, that I got a dual monitor setup. I already had one of the monitors, but even with my extra 1440p monitor, I still didn't spend $2,000.
Yeah, well, I'll say this: like I remember we had this conversation with our good buddy. Big shout out to Optimus Code, where we talked about you brought up a great point about the TV. People always forget that you bought a 4K TV to play games. Right, you can't use your console without a TV, and in some cases, people are paying $2,000 for TVs, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
I want that job. It gives me like that LG OLED 75 inches. It's curved. My whole family next door can see it. Like I want that type of TV. Shit.
Right. I mean, I'm about to look up the one that everyone brags about, the C9. I'm about to look up the price of that. Yeah, everyone's got a C9 now. It's just like, hey, you gotta get that C9. You gotta get that experience. They had to. Because if you were running around talking about, hey, I'm going to play Dirt 5 and Halo Infinite multiplayer at 120 frames per second on my TCL, no, sir. No, you weren't.
No,
you're playing at 60 frames per second.
And if you want a TV that runs 120 frames per second, you're going to need to upgrade your TVs. Most of you guys have that 60 hertz television set. So you're going to need to upgrade if you want that 120 experience.
Hey, I'm looking at a C9 this is last year's model that's 55 inches and it's $1,700. So hey, that's more than what I spent building my PC. So facts.
And on that note, the gentleman who wants the job that gets him that 75-inch OLED where his neighbors can see what he's watching and that talks to him and says, "Good morning, Mr. Badbit." We have Mr. Badbit back. What's going on, dude? Welcome back to Brad.
I looked at that TV. I just wanted to see. So, I got a 65-inch, don't like to brag, Sony 900F, I think it's called. It was like $900. I'm like, great TV. I love Sony TVs. That's the only thing I'm a fanboy of. LG, the C9 thing, 65 inches, $2,200. Guys, that's a student loan, okay? That is, and then the 77-inch, which Jesus Christ, 4,005. Hi, everybody. My name's Mr. Badbit. You can find me over at Badbit Games and on the Trophy Room PlayStation podcast over there on Apple Podcasts. I'm so
the bad bit. You
haven't
haven't even brought in the cost of the consoles yet, which we don't know. Because they're still in this stare down contest, this standoff of who's gonna pull first.
And it's if I'm gonna be real, everybody in the audience. I have no inside information. Maybe I do. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm only kidding. I don't. If these consoles were $400, they would have said it already.
Yep,
there would be nothing. There would be no. Why hide it? Right? Yeah, just.
They would have said it months ago. We would have known at the very latest. It would have been early June. We would have known what the prices were.
Prepare yourself. Type up whole situation. It's $499. Just on inflation alone. That's what it's going to have to be. So everybody prepare. And when people are like, I need to know the price because I need to know how much I'm saving up. I'm like, dude, just throw $20 a week in a piggy bank. Like you don't need to know the price. You could just assume. Just assume it they're $1,000. That's what you need to spend if you're going for both. And then bam, you'll have it by the time. Or you won't. I don't know. I don't know your situation now that I'm saying. And I'm just presuming things, but
that's just the consoles with no games, or in the case of Xbox, the console with Game Pass. You probably will get Game Pass for like 3 months at the minimum.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest. That's like such an awesome deal. Like, no bullshit aside, guys. Like, you're getting the whole launch lineup for theoretically free for 3 months. Like, that's a great deal.
It's an awesome deal.
Yeah, but again, I'm happy to be here, man. I'm here to talk that Sony talk, that Spider-Man talk. I'm here for a good time, guys.
Oh, that's gonna be.
I'm sorry. Hey, I'll be right back, Enrique. My bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be a spicy meatball. That's gonna be a great topic. We're gonna have a lot of fun talking about that. But want to give a big shout out to everyone in the live chat. What's up? What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another BRAP. And please, I'm gonna drop the link here right now in the live chat. Please retweet the live chat. Share it with your friends, family. Let them know that BRAP's on and that we're gonna be talking all things video games. And I just think it's funny, the whole PC console thing, and everyone says you got to spend $2,000, $3,000 to get an experience similar to the Xbox Series X. And I always say, well, what about that 4K TV you bought that puts you in the price range of probably what I spent on my PC, and with my monitor that has 144 megahertz and 1 millisecond input lag, which is beautiful, and these beautiful RGBs that shine from the back of my monitor.
I have all I know what you're saying right now is like, you got Minesweeper on there. You got the Dell pinball game. That's the only stats I need. You show me that. That's an exclusive right there.
I'd tell you what, speaking of PC, I got to say, Mr. Badbit, you have a very nice 2080 special edition Cyberpunk.
Yup. I don't deserve it. I'll be the first to admit.
That is awesome, dude. I watched the unboxing video, which was just phenomenal. And that is really cool, man, that you had the opportunity to win that.
I got another cool unboxing that I can't talk about. So
okay. Is this a dual sense unboxing? Maybe
no, nothing. Well, I wouldn't say it's not on that range, but it's somewhere there.
Is it?
It's gonna be fun.
Xbox Series X.
yeah. I got Phil Spencer on the line. He's gonna. He's just like, hey Joe, you want one? Because it's whatever. We're cool. We're best friends. I'm like,
There you go. Yeah.
Big Phil here.
Yeah. All right. So somebody in the live chat says even scrolling down on a 144 megahertz monitor is godly. Woo! PC baby. All right. So well, Babbitt, seriously, man, it's great to have you on. It's gonna be a fun show. Want to introduce the rest of the panel real quick. We have Mr. Anti-Consumerism himself. The one word that is abused and misused, Eric Jackson. What's going on, E?
I'm chilling, man. I took my McDonald's into a Chick-fil-A today.
Oh shit!
Yeah, what y'all gonna do?
Me, dude.
It's anti-consumer to throw me out of here. What up? Not go.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
No, I'm tripping. I'm capping. I don't eat McDonald's.
The McDonald's. And I tell you what's anti-consumer that McDonald's won't sell a Big Mac at Burger King. That's the terrible.
Yeah.
I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. Those golden arches paywall. It's ridiculous. Got to stop with that tomfoolery.
That's why I go to McDowell's.
Yeah, for that secret sauce.
That secret sauce, yeah. And then we got B Money B. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
It's another great Wednesday, man. NBA's back, so I'm excited.
NBA is back. They should just hand the NBA championship to LeBron. That's all I'm going to say. Just crown him. Crown him.
Nah, man, it ain't gonna be easy. It ain't gonna be easy.
I think those guys. I think the Lakers are going to blow through everyone.
Oh no, you sleeping, man. That's
I don't
okay
know,
though.
man.
That's okay.
I don't know. And then we got Mr. PlayStation, baby, do it. Give me Forte. What's up, Forte?
What is up, man? How you guys doing today, man? This is an amazing week so far, man. A lot of stuff didn't really happen this week, unfortunately. I wish there was more stuff to talk about.
I know, me too. I just want to say
dry out here, man.
Dry, man.
I just want to say, Forte, I just want to say something, man. I want to say that Burger King is anti-consumer because I can't buy a Whopper at McDonald's. I'm tired of that Burger King paywall.
Oh, wait a minute. You don't like that the flame broil, right off the grill? You don't like that over the frozen patty?
That's why I go to McDonald's.
I mean, McDonald's got the fries though, that could survive anything.
Yeah.
Those real talk. You ever see McDonald's fries 2 years in the car? Them jokers the same the day you got them.
Yeah, man. Just this golden brown with no mold on them.
Yep. I'm like, what? No mold.
It's something to say about that when like ants and roaches won't touch that shit.
This is true, man.
Not even waste their time.
They're like, nah, man, that ain't food. That's not food.
You eat that, you're dead. Yeah. Well, that speaks volumes of what we're putting into our bodies. And I think about it. Yeah. Anyhow.
But today's been a good day, man.
That's good,
I got a
man.
nice little box here that I'm about to open up after the show. So,
Forte, I just want to say something, man. I said this to Slow-Mo earlier. I love the show you guys are doing on Tuesday, man. It's awesome. Seriously, it's great stuff.
Appreciate it, man. Slow-Mo is the brains behind all of it.
And I gotta say this, man. I don't agree with your devil's advocate argument the other day. With,
Lord,
yesterday when you were trying to present, you were like, I forget what you guys were talking about again. Maybe it was about the controller, the DualShock, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, your counterpoint or your devil's advocate is like, no, don't do it, Forte.
Oh, I mean, I don't really care. It comes with it in the system. It comes with it in the box. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? But hey, check it out though. You see this? Look what I got today.
Oh, woo!
Oh yeah. Those speakers are bomb, bro.
Bro.
Whoa, you got an Xbox Series X already? That's crazy, dude.
Light sync. Let's go.
That is nice, man. So
already here for
Did you get a good deal on them, man?
160.
Oh, that's not bad. I think they.
Oh, dude, on Amazon?
Yeah, 160.
Ooh, was that on Amazon or
no GameStop?
Oh,
GameStop got it?
Yeah, we sell them, brother. So employee discount.
Forte
traded some stuff in. Use my $5 loyalty coupon and
Forte. We got to talk after the show.
Oh, bro, I can't wait to hook these things up tonight. I'm gonna be playing Destiny with strobe lights on the side of my PC.
Yeah, you are. Da, 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 da. Ba, ba, bow.
Yeah. I'm gonna be in that multiplayer like
Bow. Plus I need something to look at when Slow-Mo's trying to figure out his technical difficulties every time he wants to live stream.
Oh, that's savage, man. All right. Slow-Mo, I don't know. Speaking of Slow-Mo, I don't know if Slow-Mo's back, but Slow-Mo.
Oh, he's not even there? Dang, I gotta say that again when he comes back.
Slow-Mo, yeah, big shout out to Slow-Mo Backslap. He is in the house tonight, and we will certainly get to him. But real quick, where is Nintendo, by the way? We have not seen Nintendo, heard anything Nintendo related.
Yes, they spoke up today.
Oh, did they? I must have.
They had
they dropped Pikmin 3 on you.
Yeah, Pikmin 3 coming.
Oh, yeah. That okay, yeah, they had the Pikmin.
No, did you see? I tweeted. I didn't even know about Pikmin 3. I just saw that Wii U for some reason was trending, and I was like, "Why is this trending?" And then 20 minutes later, I found out.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like in the sense of like they have been kind of relatively quiet, and outside these smaller announcements, like there's no Breath of the Wild 2 announcements. We haven't had a big Nintendo Direct in a long time. There's that August rumor there might be a Nintendo Direct, but if there is, it's probably going to be smaller scale. I mean, it's and I get it. I think obviously I think from a development standpoint as it relates to making games, there's some challenges here with the pandemic. As we all sit here in the United States, you watch the biggest science experiment where we all know what the actual final outcome is going to be as it relates to sending kids back to school. I mean, I don't know what this wait and see is because anyhow, I don't want to go on that rant.
Yo, they're doing that Game of Thrones, man. They're like,
ain't nobody sending their kids back to school.
We'll let them kill each other. Didn't claim victory.
My kids ain't gonna snip school this year.
But
I mean, you know what I mean? Mr. Babbitt, we have talked about the mishandling of this thing, and I don't want to go on this rant, but really, it's like I see these things. It's like, well, I mean, it probably going to be safe, right? Like, no, I don't know.
No, I know. Life's strange. We live in such strange times, dude. Like I was talking to my co-host Kyle, and we are just like, "What's next? What's this month?" Right? We got Murder Hornets in June. What is August?
Right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What is? It's just.
Is it like racist wolves are next? Like,
yo, the alien thing is upticking, man. Like
that was in July. Stuff. So we got aliens. Next, it's like it's again racist wolves that don't like Italians. Like it's just it's gonna be nuts, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, we got that lady saying that they're working with alien blood or something.
Yeah, we had demon sperm, and everybody forgot that was last week.
I think vampires are gonna be like, now's the time. Now we can come forward.
Here's the time for the strike.
I know, right? We're gonna find out that the vampires have been living amongst us for years.
Oh my god!
You're gonna find out they're responsible for the spread of COVID.
Like, Trump's gonna come out and think, so I have a little bit of announcement. It's nothing that major. Lycans and vampires have been living amongst us for a millennia. And they're great. They're wrong on both sides.
Very fine.
That just sounds
Very
terrible.
Oh my goodness! All right,
that sounds appealing.
Forte, what'd you say? You broke up a little bit, man.
I said nothing about that sounds appealing.
No.
Yeah, right. So, but Nintendo has been a little quiet, and again, I think there's challenges with development.
They don't have to say anything, bro.
It ain't no challenges, Ubisoft can come out there and show us nothing, man. Nintendo could do the same damn thing.
Well, man, Nintendo got other problems to worry about, like people still wanting their system every day, and they can't keep it in stock, so they ain't got nothing to worry about at least this holiday.
Bro, yeah, I told y'all this year is pivotal for them though. This third year, Reggie ain't there no more. Hey. Where was it gonna go?
Yeah, that's true. We'll see.
Hey, do you guys Forte, you would be money sound like you guys are botting. Anyone else hear that?
No, I don't hear anything.
No, man, that's your internet connection about to quit again.
Oh boy.
Nah, hey, but that's okay, man. If it goes down, we're on StreamYard, right? Right, Slow-Mo?
Right, yeah.
Oh, we are on StreamYard. Oh man, congratulations, man. I forgot we are on screen. It threw me off last week when you did that that one-off show on Discord. I was like, "What's this?"
Yeah, right. Exactly. But no, it's just I just feel like they've been quiet. Like we haven't seen any big announcement. Well, we have the other big three, or Sony and Microsoft. They have been feeding us news, some big news. But Nintendo's been kind of just, I feel like, just quiet. Like we haven't, other than the Pikmin 3 thing. I don't think we're gonna get any. I guess, like, are we gonna get any big like bangers from them the rest of the year? You think? I mean, like, we know about Breath of the Wild 2, Metro Prime thing. I mean, I know what's Bayonetta,
the Mario Kart bundle for holiday again. That's about it.
Are they still doing the whole Mario like anniversary thing where they're supposed to release like all the old Mario games?
I think they are. Yeah, I forget something.
Yeah.
Are they going to do that inside of?
Push.
Are they going to do that inside of their Nintendo Online though?
No, I thought it was supposed to be like a.
Oh, it's going to actually be
collection.
a physical release.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
supposed to be like
Oh, okay.
a collection of their old games.
Damn.
Okay, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, so yeah, I know that.
He said, "I'm not interested in that."
What's that?
Hey,
He said,
man,
you're not interested in that. I can just tell how you wanted to
I mean,
move
yeah,
on.
you know, like,
I-
I kind of watch Breath of
I'll
the
play,
Wild too,
I'll
you know?
play Galaxy and Galaxy 2 again.
Yeah, man.
Look, I just
And
think
Nintendo has given me nothing this year.
I just think
Absolutely
Nintendo. I just think
nothing.
Nintendo-
I forget my Switch even exists sometimes.
Yo, my Switch is getting dusty though. Like real talk, my Switch.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo's
Nobody has
looking
a
at
Switch.
it like we ain't got nothing to say. Don't say nothing, because if you say something, people will remember that they actually own it.
Yeah.
Hey, for real, they
I
could
don't
be
know.
sitting back like that for real. 14, like you see what happens when you talk out here.
Yeah, I'm
People
trying to
crazy.
tell you,
They
they
crazy,
crazy, man.
man.
Dude, people like right now, dude. People in record numbers want to switch.
Yeah.
So you really don't have to promote anything right now, because listen, as soon as Switches come in stock, they're gone.
Yeah.
They're like, we eating good.
Animal
man.
Crossing is such a juggernaut for them. They don't really need to. They
don't
don't need to
do
focus
anything.
on anything. And yeah, like why? So like the little I know is like, yeah, Breath of the Wild 2 was supposed to. A lot of things were supposed to come out this year because of COVID. That's not a thing that's happening as of right now. For not the foreseeable future, but for the next few months, like 2021 will be a big year for them. But until then, yeah, like we gotta be a little patient. We also got to be a little understanding of like the gravity of the situation that is COVID. It's affected everything, right? Like even we saw this the summer of games is not really the summer of games. Like everybody's kind of confused at this very point in time. So for me, like I give them a pass. Again, Animal Crossing has just been so crazy that all they really need to do, and I mean like the simplest, just come out with that Animal Crossing bundle again. Man, that thing's just gonna fly off the
Over.
shelves.
Over.
That's it.
I mean,
That's all
you
they
really
gotta do.
think that that's all they have to do back
Yes.
then? Like, they just,
Yes.
just
Yes.
Animal Crossing Bunny holiday version. It's
Dude, really?
Everybody, I
all
mean,
they
like
gotta do
Animal
is put
Crossing.
switches. All they gotta do is put switches in the world, and it's all they gotta do. They ain't gotta
Yeah.
do nothing right now, bro. Listen, man,
How
this
is
is the
this
difference
happening?
between Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation. Nintendo people, yes, they are very vocal, but there are way more people that buy Nintendo stuff that don't care about none of this, that don't speak up about any of this stuff, so they can go unimpeded compared to Xbox and PlayStation. A lot of the gamers are more vocal amongst all the people that own the system and stuff. There's still a bunch of casual that's in there too, but when it comes to Nintendo, man, those people they just playing games. They don't care. They can play Mario Odyssey for 6 months out of the year and be perfectly fine. And some people are literally rebuilding an Animal Crossing. Like my daughter's playing it right now. She completely tore her island apart and rebuilt it. It took her 4 months to build that island. Now she completely redid it and she's doing it all over again. Look, man, all they gotta do is get switches in the world. Once switches are available, they're gonna be perfectly fine. They're perfectly fine now, even knowing they ain't got switches in the world.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but that's the
don't
truth
get
when
it.
it comes to
Nintendo
Nintendo.
Nintendo could be like, it's rumored that we have Metroid Prime trilogy sitting here for waiting for you. It's
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where's that big announcement? Like, I'm waiting for that. Like, I feel like their next direct they got to announce
They
that.
gonna
They probably
kill it
won't.
next year. That's what's gonna happen. They
Yeah,
gonna
I
kill it
think-
next year.
I think they're hedging their bets here. They're waiting for things to get back
They're
to
taking
whatever normal
advantage
is.
of. Yeah, they're taking advantage of what's going on right now. Like
Yep.
right now, a lot of people understand that stuff is very, very scarce, and they don't even have to worry about, how we got the whole Nintendo making their stuff super scarce. They only have to do that right now because it's already just scarce as heck. So people are just doing that naturally. And then when they do send them out to stores, they're going to sell them all. And then guess what? They got a whole bunch of more people in the ecosystem. When they start doing their shows next year, starting in February or March, they're going to start dropping all the information for stuff that was going to come out this year. And they're going to give it 2021 dates. And guess what? Next year is going to be the year of Nintendo.
Yeah.
All over again.
I certainly hope so, because this Switch needs to do something besides, charge on its dock right now. Because
Well,
that's all. It's doing.
the only thing they did. So I think the only thing they did in the last 4 months, gaming wise, is basically discontinue the 3DS. That's it. They haven't done anything.
Which was anti-consumer.
No, that was the most beautiful thing they could ever did.
No, it's anti-consumer.
I took that thing off my dog. As soon as they discontinued the 3DS, I called my boss. I was like, "Yo, can I take 3DS off the wall and put that junk on a gondola? He was like, sure can. Put the games in clamshells. You don't need the cases no more.
Yeah, man.
I made my Switch. I'm gonna have to take a picture of my Switch section and send it on Twitter. No, it's beautiful. It's like you would think it's not a recession going on with all the stuff that's missing off that wall. I was like, these people out here, dog. I'm telling you, it's like barely any controllers. Half the used section for the Switch section is like missing. I was like, whoa. I was like, to the point where you literally just go get fake cover art and put it on the wall because you have nothing to cover up the slap wall because everybody bought everything. It's crazy.
That's funny, man. That's funny. Well, I think you guys are right. I would agree. I think they're hedging their bets for next year. They'll probably have some major announcements at the beginning of the year. And it's like you guys said, they are riding the success of the Switch. And it's crazy because, we take Microsoft and Sony to task for being quiet, but Nintendo, not a peep.
You're not invested in Nintendo as you are in the other ones.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Like I know the Nintendo community. I'm close with a few guys there, and they're just like, dude, where's the games? Because like, if it's not, if it's not Animal Crossing, like one of my buddies covers Animal Crossing, seen the most growth on his channel. It's been nuts. He has now, like, he was a 2,000 sub channel. Now he's over 75,000. Right, like it's been business has been booming for him.
Just for Animal Crossing.
I might have to
Animal Crossing.
start
I know
playing some Animal Crossing,
right?
and start getting talking about Mr. Nook or whatever the heck they talk about.
It's huge. So I see a lot of Nintendo creators.
Go see Tom Nook.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I just know every time people talk about Animal Crossing, they got smoke for Nook. So I have no idea who that is.
Tom Nook's anti-consumer.
Yep. He got you paying He got you paying outrageous prices with those bells.
Actually, no. Like, here's the thing: Tom Nook, most pro-consumer. He's probably voted for Bernie. Like, he's just like, hey guys,
You're right.
I know you got this loan or whatever you got to pay off. Whenever you're good for it, you pay your mortgage. You're like, what? Okay.
What about
But it will get paid.
Like when you go to, like when you first land on the island, he gives you a payment plan to live on the island. I was like,
a payment plan to live on the island?
No, he gives you a payment plan. He's like, you can pay with Molly. He said you can pay with Skybound, you can pay with that, or you can pay with, we have this thing called bills. You can pay with that and take out a loan. I was like, oh Lord, this game is literally teaching you how to mess up your credit early.
Yo,
yeah, man.
When you have a
and
cornered
kids are
market,
up for it.
Yeah, you have a cornered market. You can do that. Him and those nephews.
Yeah.
Yep.
my little cousin, he walked up to me. He's like, "Hey, have you refinanced your house yet? Because I got some business opportunities." I'm like, "What? You're 7 years old."
Yep.
What?
Listen, bro. No, and I know we literally did not expect to be going down the Animal Crossing hole. But listen, when we went into, because this game came out right when the whole thing happened. And I actually went back to work because I was back at work when it came out. Let me tell you, man. Like, we had a district chat for all the store managers, since most of them wasn't in the store, and everybody was playing this game.
Yeah. And
we literally were having debates, and everybody was doing daily updates on how much you can buy stuff in the game for. Like, I can sell, like, what's the item that you can sell? That had
the stocks, right? The fucking yeah.
Literally, there was like a stock report on that. Like, people were literally sending messages of like, "Oh God, today's the day to sell. They're selling for like 300 bells per each one." I was like, "Oh my God, dude,
this is the most boringest gaming conversation I've ever been a part of." This is this all Animal Crossing is? Because seriously,
pretty much,
it is.
man,
Yeah,
it's literally a simulator that you literally have things you have to do at certain times, and that's the thing that is, you have to do things at certain times.
It's a job.
It's on a day and night cycle, and it's pretty addicting, man. I ended up buying it and jumping in, and literally lost about 3 days of my life to it. I jumped forward in time to get some stuff, and went back in time to save time. Like, dude, it's crazy. That game is really addicting if you let it get to the point where it is.
Wow. Yeah. By the way, Ryan Landis in the live chat says, by the way, Animal Crossing looks better than Halo Infinite. Come on, man.
Damn.
Come on.
Hey. At least we know the game. At least we know it's a game people want. Damn.
What's that? Halo Infinite?
I want
No.
Halo Infinite.
No, what? No, Animal Crossing.
Oh,
Shout out to the Iron Lords and King about to lose a bet when he said that a certain game was going to outsell Animal Crossing by the end of the year. It's like,
that's not happening. That's
I was like,
not
sir,
happening.
Animal Crossing. He said Cyberpunk. As much as I love Cyberpunk, he said Cyberpunk is going to win. I said, are we going off of launch numbers or year to date numbers? He said, no, I'll give you year to date numbers. I said,
no, that's not going to happen.
They're going to be at 15, 20 million by the time the end of this year is up.
Animal Crossing is a cultural phenomenon, basically. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So, guys, hopefully we hear from Nintendo. At least I hope, selfishly speaking, I hope we hear some.
No, I think everybody does.
Yeah. But real quick, guys, Microsoft apparently isn't renaming Xbox Live, has no plans to discontinue Xbox Live Gold. And I know, Brad, we kind of briefly touched upon this. I think I DM'd you an article by The Verge that discussed this, that Microsoft isn't planning to change Xbox Live. They're not getting rid of the Xbox Live Gold service. Although, there were some recent rumors out there that speculated Xbox Live Gold was going to go away, perhaps even being made free, but that doesn't seem to be happening right now. What are your thoughts on this, man? Is this a thing, Bad? But do you think that it's going to eventually go away, or is it going to be here maybe, for the next year, 2 years, or the future?
So they're definitely getting rid of this thing. So like right now they took away the option where you could pay, what is it, for a full year, right? You can only if I'm not mistaken, someone please correct me if I'm wrong in the chat.
No, you're correct. It's like 3 months, I think.
Yeah, 3 months or three or 6, I forget. But let's just say 3 for the sake of argument, and that's $25. So what they're trying to do is trying to tell you, hey, look, the value of this Game Pass is way better than the value of Xbox Live. So just get this service instead. They're pretty much just trying to price you into Game Pass.
So when Mr. Babbitt, when you say price you into it, that means they're forcing you, which means that it's anti-consumer.
Here's the thing. You're not wrong. But the service is so good. The service is so good though that it's like, why wouldn't you? It's really good. So I'll tackle this from 2 points. When a PR person tells you they have no plans, yada yada yada, it's funny. I was watching Greg Miller and Larry on Kind of Funny Games Daily the day before they were going to announce Halo Infinite was multiplayer. And they actually Halo multiplayer was going to be free. And Greg asked Major Nelson on Friday, hey, what's this deal? Is it any truth to it? Like, come on, give me the scoop. And Larry's like, I have nothing to say. I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. Next day rolls around. Yeah, they have that official report of, Halo Infinite multiplayer is completely free. So for me, I don't trust anything a PR person says until something major actually happens. So, until there's actually an announcement of. So I would wait until, before we all say, hey, this is a no-go. I would wait until they actually reveal the price of the Xbox Series X before I would say anything like that. But in terms of what Microsoft's strategy is in the long term, even if they're not trying to price you out of, even if they're not getting rid of Xbox Live, which they totally should because they want to bridge those ecosystems together, what they're trying to do is they're trying to price you into Game Pass by saying, hey, look, if you pay, $25, for 3 months every year, you're paying way more. How about you just come to this service where it's $15 a month and you get all these cool free games along the side of not just playing online, but also playing on xCloud. And then that migration will actually get or swing more revenue for Microsoft. So that's what Microsoft's trying to do. Yes, they removed an option for consumers to save a little bit of money, but on the long run, they're really trying to push Game Pass as the brand. This is how you do it. So I would say, even if it's not like, if it's not renamed or removed by the end of this month, you can expect it in the years to come where they're just like, okay, Xbox Live is over because there's so few people out there. It's all Game Pass at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, man. I understand the reasoning behind it. I actually thought this was going to happen sooner than later. I was actually kind of surprised to hear that they weren't at least saying they weren't making any changes to it right now.
I think that's just hogwash at this point, because I mean it could be I mean, you know, when it comes to Microsoft, it could just be mismessaging all over again. You never know, because the day of the stream, Major Nelson went on a bunch of people's shows and did a bunch of interviews, and he did one with RDX, and he was on there, and Diller asked him about that, and he actually came out and said there's some really cool things coming to Xbox Live. There's some things that they're changing on the back end. He said, but there's nothing that they wanted to announce at that time. So he did say that Xbox Live was changing. So I don't know if it's something that wasn't supposed to be said in that regard or whatever. I mean, because, you know, Microsoft's been all over the place with the messaging when it comes to how certain things are going to work until they're ready to say it. But he did say in that stream that it was changing, and they just weren't ready to announce anything and some cool things they were going to do with the service going forward.
If anything, they're going to do. They're going to probably do what PlayStation Plus does, which is like if the game. Oh no, Brap left. His internet died. But hey, we're here.
We knew it was coming. Hey, look,
we knew
it. We're familiar with this now.
We're
like, hey,
right, so
it's Wednesday.
I'll take over.
I'm the host now.
So bad bit. So go ahead and finish your thoughts on that.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah. So like, there he is. There's Enrique. What's going on, man?
You guys, I keep hearing you guys bot on my end, so I dropped out and came back in.
Yeah, no.
If that would work.
So to get back to focus here is they're probably like any free to play game. I know with Xbox, I could be wrong because I'm not part of that ecosystem as much. But you have to pay for gold to be, even if it's a free game. Probably that's the thing that's going to change. And Halo's
has to change.
That Halo's the thing testing the water there. But yeah, like to many people that would be upset because maybe they're just not into Game Pass or whatever. Like, you know, I think Nick in the chat that they're just like, dude, I usually pay, like, you know, holiday season comes around, $40 for Xbox Live. Now I got to pay $120 theoretically. Like, that sucks. And it does. It really does suck. As someone whose Xbox Live is about to expire towards the end of the month, that really, really sucks for me. So it's not the coolest thing in the world, but hopefully this does mean, again, knock on wood. Let's pray for the best, hope for, or not pray for the best, but prepare for the worst, that, you know, they're going to make online totally free, but probably just free to play stuff.
Yeah. Well, so this, I guess I want to pose this question to Rogue Agent Slow Mo. Wouldn't this make PC the best place to experience Xbox then, Slow Mo?
Oh, absolutely. You don't have to worry about paywalls. You don't have to worry about, what they're going to do with free to play games. And so what? Everything's free to play. Not everything, but like you don't have to spend money to be in an ecosystem to play a game that's multiplayer and was designed to be free for you to jump in and try it. So, I mean, all that kind of stuff is, we're getting PC starting to get Sony games in there now, like 2 days from now, Horizon Zero Dawn on PC. We know more is coming. It is like, it performs. If you want to spend the money for it, if you want the performance, you can build a rig that will satisfy that desire. You know, like if you're just a console guy.
That desire.
Right.
Yeah,
if you're a console guy and you want more,
it soothes the loins.
Just say, I'm going to give Sony and Microsoft more money to make my individual console better. That's not how it works. But on PC, you can build a rig that can give you that kind of performance that you want. It's all about options on PC.
But Slomo, you can't do it for less than $1,000 though.
Depends on what you want.
Options, you can't do it for less than
if you want to play every single game at 60 frames per second, then you don't need $1,000 rig.
But you just said the option of based on what the systems are. So that's always
what is that sentence you just said? Because that's
I don't know. Sounds like he's eating and he's trying to talk.
So it's always been, the conversation has always been how consoles have been such a great entry point for the stuff that you can get, like the value you get out of it. And this is going to be the first time a generation. Well, it won't be the first time, but it will be the first time in a long time that a generation starts where PC is completely behind when it comes to the actual items that you can buy to make it even feasible to buy a system at that type of price point with these systems. So I think that's what the conversation is going to be. Now that's ultimately going to change probably within 3 to 4 months of these systems coming out.
Completely behind?
Say what?
You said completely behind?
They are completely behind. Like if for the price point, they are completely behind. Completely behind for that price.
You're adding things into it to make it completely behind and not
no, we're talking about if you want the same resolution.
No one said.
Listen, we're talking about doing so you're trying to take stuff out of it. You're trying to take stuff. We're not focusing just on 60 frames per second.
They're talking about like performance. They're talking about visuals. They're talking about the actual games themselves.
And it is completely behind at the price point that
now you're adding price back into it when that has nothing to do with being completely behind.
It is completely behind that price point.
Consoles coming out having SSDs will drive SSD prices on PC down.
They are.
So it's but that's just one aspect of things.
Right. Well, that's one aspect, but the fact that we don't even have
CPU,
and GPUs aren't even on the market yet to buy.
There's CPUs and GPUs in the market right now that are
not
better
than
that
price point though. To match the price point of what these systems are doing, there is no system out there you can buy that matches the specs of these systems day one.
What's the price?
No, I said $1,000.
Nobody knows.
You don't even know what the price is.
What's the price, be money?
You don't even know what the price is.
Oh, you already know what I think the price of the systems are going to be. So you want me to say it again? I'll tell you what I think.
We're not gonna go down to $600.
No, I'll tell you. Guess what? Even if these systems are $600, no PC day one is going to be able to match what they have day one.
And at no point was that my argument. Well, my argument was, the best performance you will spend for it. The same way these console guys be bragging about their expensive TVs. Hey, I wanted that 120 hertz, that 4K with the real HDR. So I spent $2,000.
You can't get both for that same price promo. That's the difference.
Spend for what you want. If you want it, you will spend the money.
You need that TV for that console, though. The two are symbiotic with each one another. They are the alpha, the omega. You need both of them.
The people that are going out and buying this system already have 4K TV, sir.
Okay, but when you look at the investment of the TV and you add the console, you're already at the kind of
no. See, now we're spending semantics into the fact
that
I'm gonna go out and spend $1,200 on a new graphics card when it comes out. So
you still had to go out and buy that TV. That's an investment you make. When you look at
when you counting the price of my 34-inch ultrawide monitor that I bought 2 years ago to the same price that I have now.
When you look at the out-of-pocket expenses, it's almost a wash. Unless you're one of those PC guys that are getting a $3,000 monitor and a $3,000 PC.
Completely unnecessary because you don't need. There is not a rig in the world right now that can actually need those $3,000 monitors right now. The 4K, the 4K hertz monitors,
only artists use those monitors.
Yeah, only ain't nobody going out and spending all that money on a 4K HDR monitor. That's too much money.
I bought my monitor at Costco, you guys.
Nothing wrong with
that. Don't like to brag. Built-in
I bought
speakers.
mine at the happiest place on the earth for PC gamers, Micro Center.
It's a Samsung monitor. And it's actually a piece of shit. That's all I got. That's all I got for this.
All right, hey, by the way, big shout out to Brian Baker, aka Delirium Blades, who says, "Poof, $3,000 PC is mid-range."
That is not true.
And actually, no, wait. For you understand? For Delirium Blades, that's mid-tier. This dude has got he's got a motherboard that has sharks. Wait, has like a shark, has an LED on the motherboard that has a shark like symbol or something eating frames. And he has like water and shit.
He ain't lying, man. $3,000 is mid range.
No, it's not. $3,000 not mid range.
He ain't lying, bro.
Okay, now Forte stirring the pot. Let's not. Okay,
that's mid range, man. Go ahead and spit that fire. Go ahead and spit that fire. That's mid range.
Oh,
You know,
my God.
all I'm hearing is teraflip, terascip, CPU, GPU. I have no idea what any of this is.
That's
Y'all are
that's
speaking
high
Spanish.
end. That's high
We
end.
are
You
speaking
spend
Spanish.
$1,500 or more on a PC. you
Okay.
pretty
All right.
high.
All right. So, okay, we're going to go on to Microsoft cuts xCloud iOS testing early as it's a future. I can't even talk today. I can't talk.
Is that a topic?
No, I just added it though. It's not an
like,
official.
what the hell? Like, is that really a topic?
No, but actually, it is a topic. And actually, we were talking about this Big Cloud on DM. No, did we talk about this on DM? No, we talked about this earlier. I think before we went live, right? I don't remember. I think we talked about it before we went live.
You all right, Enrique?
No, I'm not, dude. Let me tell you something. I have not. I sound like I did. I went.
What, man? Go take
That's
your
what-
temperature, bro.
For real, man.
Sound like I just went on a Coke binge, you know.
Oh shit!
Hey, I told you this, Babbitt. Didn't I say this show was going to be fun, man?
I mean, you did, and I'm having a blast right now.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you said right now, so you caveated that real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I can't promise what's going to happen in 5 minutes.
but,
Just-
yeah, you
Let's
can't.
keep talking. He'll change your mind.
Oh boy. Okay. You guys are still. I love this back and forth with you guys. When like
I'm
yesterday,
like, I didn't even
Slub-
say anything. He
Yeah, I gotta. It's
know,
just I gotta say
just
something.
mad because he had a bad argument and it got curb stomped.
Oh
And
no,
Oh, you-
no! Cognito came to me and told me that he was just trying to. He said he couldn't believe that you actually agreed with it. He said you don't even know what the hell you talking about. But guess what?
Okay.
It is what it is.
What
All right,
are
guys.
you talking? I'm talking about 5 minutes ago. The bad argument.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you
No,
talking about
whatever.
the
Yeah,
bad
you're talking about
argument
last night.
You
last
can
night.
feel like you won that argument if you want to, sir. 90% of households have TVs in them.
Okay. All right. Anyhow, we're going to move on. Big shout out to the 152 people watching right now. Please hit that like button. We got Mr. Babbitt on.
Yeah.
Look, so Microsoft cuts xCloud from iOS testing. Actually, it was supposed to be on iOS for what? I think till September, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, September, I think 12th. Right.
Yeah, I think you're right. September 12th. But you know, Phil was on the Sony event today. It's not so. What am I saying? Sony. He will be at the
Samsung.
Sony event one day. Woo.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
no, work for
but-
Sony next. Gotcha.
No, when Game Pass makes it to Sony or Halo comes to
I'm about to say
okay,
'cause
let me-
Sony people might
let me
revolt if
say
he
that,
come
'cause-
over there.
yeah. Yeah, so he was at the Samsung event, and they have a partnership with the Galaxy 20 phones and xCloud. We know xCloud's releasing, and by the way, has anyone
They have
used
they have
xCloud?
a partnership with the new Samsung TVs too, right?
Yes, they do. They do have a partnership. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know
uh,
some people that are part of the program. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I know some people that are part of the program who've tried xCloud and are thoroughly impressed with it. So
Yeah,
apparently it's there.
Yeah, I have. You know, it's funny. I'm in the xCloud beta, but I haven't utilized it much because I've been playing other games. Like I've been playing. I'm playing Ghosts of Tsushima, which I've. Oh God, what a great game, Mr. Babbitt.
I know.
Oh,
it's so good.
Yeah.
God, I want to
Yeah.
play it again. But yeah.
Yeah.
So like talking about the Samsung deal, and like in iOS not having Game Pass anymore, nothing to do with Microsoft. Microsoft's in the clear on this one. This has 100% fault lies with Apple. They don't want
This is
they're-
anti-consumer.
yeah, kind of. They've been known to have these type of practices within their storefront, so much so that like last week we saw like congressional meetings about them being anti-consumer the way that their store works. So, and we've had tons of companies like Spotify come out and go like, yeah, Apple treats us like shit because we're also a music service. So you have things like Apple Arcade that comes into play where like all of a sudden, if I'm playing Halo on my phone, why do I need to play whatever indie game is on the iPhone, right? And the arcade program is already in trouble for Apple. So they have no reason as to why they should bring Game Pass into their ecosystem. And they're trying to charge, from what it seems like, an exorbitant amount of money for Xbox to come and be a part of the iOS ecosystem, where Android really you don't care. You could even screw them over and have to go through Samsung's marketplace, but they don't mind as much. So to see Game Pass leave the iOS service sucks. It really hurts. As an Apple fan, I am, and I've been an iPhone user since Gen 1. I am very much, and if people in the chat, let me know what phone I should upgrade to. I am leaning towards Pixel because I do have a bitter thing with Samsung. That is the Apple fanboy in me. I will never concede to them.
Why? Why would you go? Samsung make good phones.
Except for the burning on the screens.
Yeah, the Babbitt household has had a troubled history with Samsung.
Okay, fair enough.
Going back to the TV we bought at CVS. Anyway, so with that said, it sucks, and I see a lot of people that are on iOS right now going, "I'm sick of this. This sucks," and I'm thinking about leaving. And as someone who I don't really game much on my phone, but I want, just the idea of having Game Pass excites me because that's what I've always wanted as a kid, is like full-fledged gaming on a mobile device. That's awesome. And so to me, my biggest hang up right now is I want to leave the iOS, but man, I love that Messages app. It is way too convenient.
How I feel about it.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the messaging app, and that's the thing that might just keep me in iOS. And my Apple Watch works perfectly, and my AirPods, they work when they want to, and it's that thing of if I leave, I have to then spend another couple $100 on adapting into this ecosystem, and that's the thing that really, really sucks at the end of the day. So to me, it sucks, but this one it ain't on Microsoft. This is purely on Sony.
I definitely think it's definitely on Apple because, as you said, Apple Arcade that's competition to them. They want anyone who is playing games on an iPhone or iPad to be using Apple Arcade. The problem is that you can't force people to use a subpar service that doesn't have games that they want to play. And then you see something like xCloud come in where they can't do what they usually do with other games that come on their platform, which is charge a crazy percentage per sale.
30%.
You're not buying anything with xCloud. It's if you already bought it, you already had access to it through your subscription. Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off here, but we just had a very special guest join us. I want to introduce him. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jay Fonzarelli. We got Jay Fonz in the house, man. What's going on, Jay?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
Hey, I want to say, first of all, Jay Fonz, welcome back to Brat, man. It's been a long time, man. Yeah, and big shout out to Blue Chess Radio, man, for life. That's all I have to say about that. But Fonz, man, what's going? Hey, by the way, man, happy birthday, man.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's my birthday, and going away tomorrow. So I'm just here for tonight, and then taking the family, getting out into the woods, man, getting away from technology.
Nice. Oh my God! Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, and you need that, in today's day and age. I wish I could go to the wood, with a tent and just forget about it
all this COVID and everything. It's great to just get away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys are botting for me. I'm gonna have to drop out and come back.
Okay, cool.
I can hear you guys.
Just keep it going. So Fonz, what was your thought about this Apple not allowing xCloud on iOS right now?
I didn't hear about that, but that's kind of weird. I don't know. I know they're very strict on their beta testing and not allowing an app to go live unless it's fully beta tested and 100% ready to go. That tells me that it's not 100% ready to go at least on their service.
Yeah, but if they already allow it in beta?
Yeah, but it was very limited, man.
Super limited, because I was doing the beta, and it was just pretty much, it started off with you could access Master Chief Collection. Well, that's it. No, you could Master Chief Collection. That was it.
Yeah,
that's the only game that was in it.
That the whole time, bro.
And they really they limited how many people were actually beta testing as well, because I had both Android and iOS at the time, and I was beta testing on Android, and I asked Bill Steelwell at the time. I was like, "Hey, man, can I get a code for the iOS?" And he said, "Nah, they're all gone." So, to get into that beta test was crazy hard.
Yeah, it's only
the Android started with more games than the iOS ever had. Yeah, so it started with 3, and then it grew to I think last time I looked, and I haven't played in a long time, but last time I looked, it was 50 games in there.
Man, they limited it to only 10,000 people, I believe, in North America. or just US or North America. I forget. Either way, crazy low number. Yeah, they're kind of nuts over there.
Yeah,
I remember when it first started, the beginning, with Android anyway, it was horrible. It was unplayable. I couldn't deal with it. I stopped playing. And then about, I don't know, 2-3 weeks later, I tried it again and it was beautiful. I was like, holy crap, this thing is unbelievably smooth.
I'm glad it's improved. It was up and down for me, but I mostly used it on my lunch breaks at work when I was in the office and I didn't have like my PC or my Xbox or my PlayStation within reasonable distance to play. But since I've been working from home, there hasn't been really any opportunity for me to use it yet. I think Eric, I think you were about to say something.
Oh no, I was just kind of jump back on the whole point of it. Like, it's kind of on brand for Apple to kind of do this kind of thing.
Yeah,
it is.
And I say that as somebody like Babbitt said, I've been using iPhone since generation 1. I did switch to Android for a couple years when Google had the Nexus program, because that program was dope. And an unlocked Android phone, pretty decent quality for like $350. So, but I kind of I'm good with being an iOS because it just works for the type of flow that I work with, doing design. I've always done design on iOS, like devices, my whole family's in, with iPhones. So the messaging is just, it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Do I like everything? No, I bounced from Apple, matter of fact, because I couldn't stand the fact that they refused at one point to just update their OS. They stuck with that OS forever. And I'm like, and then when they finally started switching it around and, of course, adopting a lot of what Android was already doing.
Yeah, for like 3 years. So and then they stand up around this time of year because they always drop the new phones around September. But they always come out, here's the new iPhone, the iPhone 1 number up. And it's doing all these amazing things. Everyone's just kind of like, wasn't Android doing that like 3 years ago?
We just got night mode. Like listen, it's been rough here.
Yeah, and I would laugh as like an iOS user that when the people would be like, jumping up thinking that it was like the newest greatest. I'm like, Android was doing that for like the longest.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I know some people may know and some people may not, but the gaming community does not own the exclusivity on nut jobs going back and forth over something like Android and Apple people. I've been informed where it is like it's ridiculous. But I mean, this isn't enough for me right now to want to go switching a phone. I just, like I said, I have my reasons for sticking with iOS. Hopefully they keep working on them and they get it to a point where it works. But I'm also not I'm sort of like what Slow-Mo says. Like, I don't do a ton of traveling. I'm not going to really sit in the house and play on, xCloud versus having my console in front of me. And my type of job, I'm walking around most of the day, so I'm not really sitting anywhere doing that.
Right. So
I'm not the person
not good. Yeah. B, what do you think, man?
We kind of talked about it earlier in the DM, but it's kind of par for course for Apple to do this. I'm not a iOS user, so it doesn't really affect me.
Let me ask you something. What phone are you rocking right now?
I rock the Galaxy Note 10.
Okay.
Yeah. So
is that the latest one?
Yeah, this is the one prior to the newest one that's about to come out. So
the Note 20 is about to come out either like this week or next week or something like that.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Okay.
Ooh, I held it in my hand too. Jesus.
Yeah, that thing is beautiful.
It's big, ain't it?
But
man, it's so beautiful, man.
But there's so many other like dope Android phones that are out there that like people don't talk about.
It really is, man.
But you just kind of got to be like into that side of tech to really kind of pay attention to the other stuff.
Yeah.
To me, like the Samsungs are just overpriced. I'm sorry. I mean, they do a lot of great things, but they're just so overpriced, man. There's great phones out there for $400.
You could get like a dope like ZTE phone or like a Huawei phone or like a OnePlus phone, and all those phones are high quality phones, and you can get them for like half the price.
And you got
I'm thinking jumping to Pixel right now.
Pixel
That's
4a.
what I'm thinking.
I almost went with Pixel. I couldn't wait for it because I wanted a 5G phone. I just replaced I had a Samsung 9 Plus, and and I now have a LG V60 ThinQ with the dual screen.
Dope camera on that V60.
The dual screen. So I have a case. I put my phone in the case, and then the inside of the folding case is a second screen that connects, and I just hit a button on the screen. It turns it on. I can be like playing one game on one screen and then watching Netflix on the other. It's pretty cool. And the battery life is ridiculous. It's the best battery life I have ever seen with a phone. I could just go, even though with this dual screen, it's normal battery life for normal phones. Without the dual screen, I could be not connected to a charger for like 3 days and still have it on.
See, I got an iPhone X. I'm sorry, chat. I'm being selfish right now because I don't, whatever. I'm rocking an iPhone XS Max because they wanted to add more letters and a bigger screen. And so, like, I have to charge this shit. I don't know if it's just because of the Rona and I'm on my phone more, but like, I got to charge it twice a day. And I was like, this is not worth it anymore. I need to leave.
Well, I think it might be that time. I used to switch back and forth between Android and Apple like every 3 years, and lately I just been all Android. But I think we got like kind of like into the weeds on this topic.
Yeah, we did. We went way too far in the phone. Man.
I'm back.
Non-gaming related. Where is he, man? What happened to him?
Dude, you know what?
There he is.
That's when we get throwing this topic in here on us, though.
No, but you know what though? Like, I don't know what's going on with StreamYards. I keep hearing you guys bot, and I don't know what's going on.
I don't think it's StreamYards because we're all good, and
I hear you completely fine.
Yeah, we hear you just fine. I think it's I don't know what's going on with your internet. But I mean, look, it's while we got you here, I guess we could move on to the DualShock topic, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
you got some words about you got some words on this phone?
God. I don't know if you heard RDX last night, but I was basically trounced about this, because
what happened? What were your thoughts?
I was the only one on the panel the only one on the panel that was thinking one way. So basically,
which way was
my good buddies jumped me, and so a lot of Xbox
it's a safe place here, man. It's a safe place. You can
I'm on the show with me and Slow-Mo yesterday. I felt like I was being jumped.
I mean, I got DMs, I got phone calls from people. They're telling me, "Hey, I'm on your side. I'm on your side." Don't.
Oh, okay.
But anyway,
so what's your side, sir? I need to hear this.
Okay, so your whole DualShock 4 not working on the PS5, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Or for PS5 games, because apparently it does work for PS4 games.
It does.
Yes.
Well, clearly, I mean, obviously, this tells me that Sony wants you to use their new DualSense controller because of those new features on those new games. Yeah. So it makes sense, and I have no problem with that. For me, if the console doesn't come with a controller, then maybe you could kind of say something. But I'm sure it's going to come with a controller.
It's going to come with a controller.
And
you imagine selling a console separate from a controller.
Well, that's the thing. And I mean, I had a guy argue with me a few times on Twitter about it. I entertained him for a little bit, but I was like, it's like when you buy a car. Some cars have certain features that other cars don't. Does that make those car companies that don't have those same features anti-consumer? No, it does not.
Nope.
It just makes it to where those other companies could be more pro-consumer in that regard, but it doesn't make the other company any more anti-consumer. It doesn't make them anti-consumer. I think people are using that word a little too much.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree with you there.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying last night when me and Forte were live streaming last night. I was saying, look, aren't you getting a DualSense with your PlayStation 5? What is the problem here? Your DualSense will play PS4 games and PS5 games. Why do you care about your old DualShock with the drifting thumbstick and the dead battery? Like, what do you and sticking buttons on your old DualShock? Why are you even still using it?
Well,
Like, come on.
Well, the question I'm gonna ask you a question, Fine, since you was on the show. You was on RDS yesterday. What was the main reasons they were basically against you on that?
Well, I know 3 of the guys said it was anti-consumer. Dealer said it wasn't anti-consumer necessarily, but it was in a gray area. Shout out to my brothers, though. I love those guys. They're really great people. But I just disagree with them wholeheartedly on this. I don't see the anti-consumer thing here. Look, I come from Atari days and generational leaps, and a lot of times the those accessories didn't work next generation.
Right.
Sometimes it did, and that's great. That's nice, but I never once bought an accessory to any console and thought I'm going to use this next generation. Not once did I ever think that, because I got a lot of people coming to me saying, the SCUF controller. Oh, I just bought a $200 SCUF controller. Now I can't take that with me. That's messed up. And I'm like, no, you bought that SCUF controller to play with the current content. You didn't buy that for next generation. It's ridiculous.
You can't make that the fault of moving forward. It's like
I call that a ridiculous expectation.
So
to think that everything could move forward, and it's a great thing that Microsoft's doing it. You can't take that away. That's awesome that they're doing that. But to say that the other company is not doing right because they're not doing the same thing is ridiculous.
And guess what, Foz? And that's the main reason. And shout out to RDS, because I that's why I wanted you to answer that question, because this is the thing I was telling Slow-Mo yesterday. It's not that it's like, I agree with you 100%. This is something that's not new. We've been trained to do this every generation ever since we've been playing games. But Microsoft has done a very good and compelling job of convincing people that this is not the way that it should be going forward. And there is a lot of people that, say it or not, this is how they feel. They feel like one company is putting it out on the line saying you don't have to buy new accessories or anything. You can still use the old stuff. And look, is not right, because I don't think Sony's doing anything wrong. They're literally doing what they've always done. It has never been a problem to this point. But we're reaching a point in the generation where this is going to be, next generation is going to be completely new. And everybody is going into this generation with a completely different mindset compared to what they had before. And that's just a microcosm of what everybody else is thinking. And that was the main argument I had with Slow-Mo on it yesterday. I still agree with him, but there's going to be a lot more of this over the course of this generation.
Here's my question to you guys, though.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you even want to use that old?
I agree.
There with new features and everything. Like, why?
That's what I said. Fine. I said, and all I see on Twitter off and on all the time is how terrible the DualShock 4 is. It's too small. It's like a kid's toy. The battery is horrible. So what are we talking about? They're giving you the opportunity to completely abandon it.
Yeah,
And that's the thing that I was saying on the trophy room was just like, why are we freaking out? Because for so long, it was just like, man, I need a better battery. Man, I wish this was USB-C. I wish this thing, I wish this thing charged faster. It's like, it's going to give you all that and a little bit more. And so I think, and I know this might be a little bit of a conspiracy theory, but come with me down this road. I think that not actually a lot of people are upset. And I think it's just people that want to fan a flame war, and that's really all they really want to do. Because it's kind of like what
I agree.
What Matt Piscatella said. It's just like he's just like, listen, Xbox definitely has the cooler thing, but like most consumers at the end of the day will not even know that this console is able to do such a thing. Most consumers won't care. Most consumers want the next shiny thing. So like, we're blowing it up out of proportion because in reality, it's a small non-issue.
Well, it is a selling point. That's the one thing, though. It is a selling point.
It's a selling point if you're if you're an Xbox fan, right?
Not even if you're an Xbox fan.
If you have your old 2013 day one controller, you're an Xbox fan, and you feel like, oh wow, Microsoft appreciates my dollar, this is really awesome. Or if you're on PC, you're just like, oh cool, I could continue using this controller, no problem. That's cool. But like if I'm a new consumer, chances are that's what this console is going to try to sway me towards. I don't have an Xbox controller. So it doesn't
But you
favor
also
me.
have to look at the fact that the Xbox controller isn't changing very much.
Yes.
Thank you. It's
Yeah,
it's slightly
that's-
smaller with a share button. Of
that
course,
and they
And a
just
better
sold
it's
D-
you
going to
better
work
D-pad.
on next generation. It didn't change much.
and
So,
and last
you
year
have
they
to.
sold you on a $200 controller. So like why
we had a
introduce
problem.
this new Elite 2 if you're just gonna cancel it out in a year? So like for me, yeah, I mean for Fonz, you hit it on the head here. Just it really is it's a cool thing that Microsoft has.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. But it's not the end all. It's not the end all be all. I think everybody's kind of blowing this out of proportion because I think we're kind of at this point, we're kind of looking for a reason to be upset.
And here's the too bad bit. So what people are trying to say then is that they're not going to go out and buy that new Xbox controller with the share button on it.
No, I know I'm gonna do that.
I'm doing it.
you're
That's the whole thing. Like people are making this big deal out of it, but you are going to run out and get that because you want the convenience to have the share button.
you don't even need to do that because when you buy your Series X or your Lockhart, you're going to get one with it. So
When
you
he's
don't
talking about
even
the
need to
people
go out and
that
buy
are
one.
just gonna just get the use their
Well,
old system and get the new controller.
No, people
you know what's
keep
weird?
talking about wanting
they
this
don't, I don't
newest,
even
latest.
believe they don't even believe that nonsense. You know
No.
what?
No, I think that's the case because I don't think they're gonna. I think at a certain point
No,
they're
it's-
just gonna sell nothing but the new controller anyway.
But it's flame war, and it's people who,
Well,
because in a relatively short time, people have adopted this whole thing of thinking that they understand what consumerism, anti-consumerism is, and it's like you touched on a moment ago, Slow Mo. Anti-consumer would be, here's your new console, but guess what? There's no controller in the box. You got to
Exactly.
No
That's
wires. are in it.
anti-consumer.
Oh,
And
wait,
that-
you
that's
talking
what I brought
about
up.
a 3DS with no charger in the box, right?
There you go.
Well, and that's
But,
another
but,
thing.
but
Like,
Forte, people dealt with it.
No, people literally defended like, oh, I already got a 3DS. That's
Right.
why they didn't put it in the box.
Yeah,
like they didn't give you no
Right.
charger.
we're seeing that with Apple and Samsung right now. They're just like, hey, we're not going to give you a little cube because we know you have like 23 of those in your house. So we don't need to do that anymore.
Well, we're not
Why-
bringing the cost of the device down, but we're not
Yeah.
putting it in the box.
Right.
But you know the
Yeah,
funny
That's
thing
why I
is,
kept bringing it up.
but the funny thing is, a lot of people think like that now, though, because like as much as I tried myself, being a person that has an Apple phone, when I buy another Apple phone, when they said they're going to take the puck out the box, that's like, oh, that's not that bad because I got like 50 of those pucks laying around. But when you think about it, like, wait a minute, no, are you going to lower the price of this
No.
this item to take the puck out? To give me my puck if you're not.
Man, it's funny. You guys are making too much sense here, but
Yeah.
in yesterday's show's comments, like I went back and read the comments. I just saw a bunch of like, man, Fonz is being stupid. Is he doing this on purpose? And I'm like, what? Am I in the Twilight Zone? Am I really wrong on this? I had to second guess myself, and then I was,
they drank
I
the
thought about it, and
Kool-Aid.
I go, look, the facts are, and I kept bringing this up on the show too. There's a controller in the box. If they did not have that controller, then you have some sort of leg to stand on.
Yeah.
But because they have that controller, they are not forcing you to go out and buy a new controller. And the whole argument about, well, all these people bought 30 to 200 different controllers in a generation. Well, that's on you. Nobody asked you to do all that.
We kept
When-
screaming that
when
on
they
social
bought
media.
those
Too, like,
controllers-
all these controllers, no game.
When you bought those controllers, you bought them with the intention that they were going to work on your Xbox One and your PlayStation
Exactly.
4.
Right.
No one said, and no one was saying, hey, I'm going to use this controller next gen. No, you weren't.
Yep.
You weren't thinking
Nope.
that. That didn't even become a thing until your favorite piece of plastic said, hey, you can take your old beat up piece of crap controllers with you. Oh, now everyone needs to do it. But where was that energy when the original Xbox went from the Duke and the Xbox S series to the 360, and you couldn't bring those controllers? What about the amazing 360
case in
controller
point.
that you couldn't bring to the Xbox One? Was the anti-consumer then?
Well, the argument there was, well, it's different tech. They use Bluetooth with the Xbox One. I go, okay, that's fine. But the point is there's different tech within the PS5 controller. Sure, it's the same technology, and you could say it's just extra,
Bullshit,
buzzing
yeah.
in the controller, rumble in the controller. That's fine. But but they are selling you on this. This is a feature set that Sony is trying to sell people on. I get it. It's they're trying to innovate here with their controller. So that's why they want you to try it with their controller. They want you to play their games with this controller.
Right.
My boss said it best. My boss was telling me this was 2 months ago. He bought one of those SCUF controllers for his PS4, and he was telling me one night, he goes, I bought this, and I know the PS5 is right around the corner. He's all, it's so much fun to use this thing. I hope I can bring it with me to next gen, but if I can't, I'll just have to buy another one. You know,
and there's even
he's a casual.
Yeah,
and he's a casual, but he realizes that, and he doesn't have that sense of entitlement where I should be able to bring this.
Yeah.
You know, he knew this.
And there's even an asterisk where they're just like, some controllers will work. It's just via the a game to game basis. So it's not again, I know it's not the best solution. It's not even a Band-Aid, but it's like it isn't really the end of the world. I expect the latest Call of Duty probably to work, with my, if I had a scruff and I made that poor purchasing decision because it's a bad controller. But like, if I made that purchasing decision, I expect Call of Duty at the very least to still work with that type of controller. So it is a case-to-case basis. But
one thing I do have to say, one of the arguments that was posed was, well, you could say the same thing about backwards compact games, that those wouldn't have to come forward either, even though it's the same x86 architecture. Right. And I said, you're right, but I would never say, while I love that back compat is there for Xbox, I would never say that PlayStation is anti-consumer if they didn't bring those PlayStation 4 games. Now, I would say it's kind of messed up since I feel like they should, but I would never say it was anti-consumer. I think that word is just used so much in wrong ways so many times, and I think people need to really back off of it a bit, because not everything is anti-consumer or even pro-consumer for that matter.
Right. Yeah, let's get the super chat. Rafe the Emperor with the $2 super chat. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you. He says, correction, bots bought a $300 controller. You know what, sir? You absolutely right. And I didn't buy that Series S to the version 2 controller until Xbox said it would work on the next system. And guess what? I have 2 of them. So
Ray said they bought 300 controllers.
Oh, they bought 300. Oh, Jesus Christ. 300 controllers.
Yeah. Hey guys, real quick.
Everybody has a wall full of controllers. Brad, did you show everybody your wall of controllers?
Hey, Slow-Mo, or the Slow-Mo. Why do I keep calling you Slow-Mo? It's Forte.
Oh, I mean,
so no, what's that?
Now you're botting.
I'm botting?
Well, you're going in and out.
Oh my goodness! All right.
Okay, you're good now. You're good now.
Yeah, I was having issues with my pods. I hate these effing pods, man. I'm getting direct connect. I'm getting somebody to come install Cat 5. I'm running through my my media room downstairs, man. I'm tired of this pod stuff, man. It sucks. Slow-Mo recommended this.
X5, you got the X5 pods.
Yeah, they're terrible, man. I just one. I just found out my kids. I have one upstairs. If
Where's
one
your?
Is
you want me to tell you something about that? I can tell you a little bit about those pods. When I had the guy from Xfinity install my stuff, he told me that the gigabit service that I have, well, that the big tall modem that they give you for those pods.
Yeah.
Anyway, he told me that when they originally installed those things, that they had a long range, and then they deliberately cut down that range dramatically because they wanted people to buy those pods.
Oh my God!
Would that be an example of anti-consumerism?
Anti-consumerism.
Yes, that is anti-consumerism, and that's why I fucking hate Xfinity. Sorry for my language, but I hate them so much. But they're my only option out here, so I have to.
That's an anti-consumer as well. That's a monopoly. That should be.
Yeah, it is.
Should be exactly.
I hate them with a passion, but I came from FiOS, and I'm coming to this crap.
Oh,
yeah. So look, I want to apologize to the over 200 viewers that we have. Sorry, you couldn't hear my beautiful voice as you guys were talking about and I wanted to get
street, bro.
Yeah, I wanted to get Fonz on here because I haven't hung out with my man Fonz on a podcast in a minute, and my connection.
Still not hanging out with him.
You weren't even for most of it.
Yeah. So guys, you guys talking about the DualShock. What are you guys talking about?
Yep. DualShock.
Yeah.
That he got run down.
Get your bars off, man. What do you think about this DualShock situation?
That it's not gonna, that it won't work on PS5 games. Is that kind of what we're talking?
Conversation.
Mm-hmm. Look, I'm not surprised. I mean, Sony, and I mentioned this on the Slow-Mo and Forte show yesterday. I know what you guys are officially calling your show, but I mentioned this in the live chat that by design, this is what Sony wants. They want They want games to be designed around using the DualSense. They've clearly invested a lot of R&D into making this controller. We know about the haptic feedback, some of the other features that this controller has, and they want developers. They want their first-party games to utilize the feature set of that controller. So I get it. I don't think it's end of the world stuff. The way I saw some people.
Oh boy!
Whoa! I think Enrique entered the Matrix, dude. Holy shit, that's dope.
That is dope.
Optimus Brap in here, man. That was yo, dude. I don't know what you just said. You just transformed on us. That's all I heard. You just turned into a sports car just now.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really bad.
All right,
I think he just told us to roll out.
No. Autobots, roll out.
That's accurate as all hell. Oh my god!
Oh my god! I tell you, man, it's damn pod. It's fine. I do. Okay.
Yo, I don't know what's happening.
Autobots, roll out.
He up there playing.
Oh shit!
Somebody up there playing.
It sounds like we need to upgrade like Enrique's firmware or something. That's the way it sounds. Like it's pretty bad.
And Gregory in here, man, I ain't seen no witty things lately. He would have buried him about this by now. He must not be here.
Yeah, well, he was in earlier, but he was
in earlier
in the chat right now. Oh, there he is,
Chopped
chopped and screwed. Yeah, chopped and screwed, Enrique. Oh man, yeah. Look, man, this is we did get a chance to get into Enrique's thoughts on the whole DualShock 4 thing. I think
it's anti-consumer. He's not anti-consumer. That's
My
all.
buddy.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Just cut your computer off and come
You
back.
sound like you're trying to order food at a.
You need
like
to reset your modems, reset your computer, and come back. The stream will still be here.
I reset everything.
Well, okay, look, this is what I think you need to do, Enrique, because I think you have some of these like MiFi pods that you're using in your house. I think that the MiFi pod that you're on might not be connected very well to your main router. You might want to change locations for the show. Maybe if you got a laptop, you can run it off of, jump on it, and have it being not in the same location, cell phone, whatever. Just as long as it's not in the location for your Wi-Fi that you're at right now, because you're not getting a good signal, and the QoS is off the chat. Yeah, but
could it be bad too?
Yeah, exactly. Use Ethernet cables. I cannot stress that enough.
Oh no, that's why I asked him where is his computer located. Like I told my wife I was like, listen, I don't care where the modem is, as long as it's next to my computer.
Look, man, I always go Ethernet cables, Cat 6 all the way. You will never have these issues when you do that. If you're having networking issues or performance issues when you're streaming or whatever, it's due to the fact that your entire network is down. You need to talk to your ISP. It's not like you're anything internally. But hopefully we get Enrique back up.
Facts in your thoughts.
Oh, wow. Man, he might
anybody have any
going
since I'll take over for a second. Hey guys, I'm Enrique right now. What's up? Yo, Jesus Christ, is that a gremlin? Fonzie, did you turn into a gremlin too? Jesus.
Yeah.
But any closing thoughts on this topic, or you want to go to that Spider-Man news?
Let's get to the Spider-Man news. Let's do it.
All right. So apparently, Sony and Marvel. This is off the top of my dome. I don't have no notes for this. Sony and Marvel, or Sony and Square Enix, have announced a exclusive deal pertaining to Spider-Man. So, Spider-Man will be a DLC character come 2021, and he will only be playable on the PlayStation platform, not on Xbox or PC. There's also some exclusive missions, some exclusive bonus cosmetics, and some even just like straight up like timed exclusive. You could get certain cosmetics 30 days earlier if you're on PlayStation. A lot of exclusive stuff if you're playing on the PlayStation brand. But everybody's up in arms about Spider-Man being that exclusive. So I'm gonna go to, I don't know, I'll go to you, Fonz. You're the guest here. Welcome to the show. I'm Enrique. I'm not sounding like an Autobot anymore. Fonz, what's your thoughts on this? Is this truly anti-consumer? Because they're not just taking ports of the game out; they're also taking gameplay mechanics out.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that a multi-platform game. And here's the thing: I don't necessarily blame Sony for this one. I blame the creators of the game, Square Enix, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This lies upon them. They should not allow their game that is multi-platform to have certain things omitted from the other consoles or platforms or PCs, whatever. Because I mean, this is whole characters. This is not like a suit or something. Like, this is a whole character, a whole bunch of mechanics taken out, ripped out of a game that everybody is paying $60 for. That is anti-consumer to me. I shouldn't buy an inferior product on one system and see somebody else having a much better product because they're getting more over there. I could see this it being okay if this was timed, but this isn't timed. This is for good,
I would be okay if it was I thought when I was recording my show, because we didn't have all the information at the time, that this was the White Spider-Man. And so I was just like, oh, if this is like White Spider-Man, I get why he would be exclusive. Or, if this was a timed thing, or maybe even like, oh, you just get the White Spider suit as like a exclusive thing to PlayStation, that's fine. I as a PlayStation, primarily player, I am a little uncomfortable with having like my friends playing on Xbox paid for the same game, but their stuff literally taken out. Like this is way more far reaching than the Destiny DLC was. It does irk me, but at the same time, I like to throw this analogy. I feel like a white person in America right now because, hey, listen, I know things are bad, but they're not bad for me. So I'm kind of complacent because the how much I actually care. It's like, okay, like I get it. It's not my ecosystem. Like it sucks if you're an Xbox guy, not my ecosystem though. So like I don't care as much, sadly.
You have to take into account that this is a gas game too. It's games as a service. This is a game that's going to be around for quite some time, and it's literally going to have a character
if it does
you will never have.
If it does well.
If it does well. Yeah. There's certain things about the game I don't even like, from what I'm seeing so far. There's certain things that I don't like that is kind of keeping me away, and that has nothing to do with it, but it's the actual game itself. There's certain things that just look off to me. Not just the faces.
Not just their faces.
Yeah, because that's kind of spooky in itself. But, it looks like that Walmart brand, toy section stuff, that, or actually I should say Dollar Tree, where they have the off-brand freaking Avengers and stuff. Well, that's what it looks like for me. But the gameplay, there's certain aspects about like, with Thor and stuff I don't like. But with this particular situation, a whole character being omitted from the game, ripped out of it in the other, versions, that's so wrong. And Square Enix should be ashamed.
They should.
And I think that has been somewhat overlooked, that a lot of people seem to be up in arms at Sony, which I don't really blame this on Sony at all. Sony is doing what they need to do, what they feel they need to do. They're making moves to try to promote their platform as Spider-Man being something that's a part of like their ecosystem. Like now they can market Spider-Man right along with Kratos, right along with Alloy. Like when they want people to think PlayStation when they see Spider-Man and think of gaming. And so for them to make this kind of move, they're being aggressive. I can't blame them for that. But it's on Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix to not have their consumers feeling like, well, why am I spending the same amount of money for less content? Like what's up with that? Like that's on them for allowing it to happen, because they didn't have to take the bag, but they did. And so when it comes down to it, Square Enix really should be getting the brunt of all of this anger from PC and Xbox gamers who feel like, well, I really wanted to play it on my PC / my Xbox, but I feel like you're forcing me to have to get it on PlayStation if I want to get all of this extra content. And then also, I would say, for as far as Microsoft goes, hey, look, how many times you gonna keep getting punched in the face before you decide to fight back? Like, why do you keep allowing this to happen, or at least the very?
Well, I think, like, if I could answer that for just a sec, like, I think it's just because they're on two different paths. Like, PlayStation, you gotta pay in to get in that ecosystem in a big way. So they're gonna make sure that it's the most attractive offer that they can give you. Where Xbox, it's all about inclusivity. It's all about bridging those ecosystems together. So it doesn't benefit them if there's exclusive content on Xbox and not on Steam or Origin or whatever. They want everybody to be playing together and playing the same thing together. So like they're making deals with Samsung. And Sony's making deals with publishers, and I think Xbox's focus is getting their platform on as many devices as they can, or PlayStation's working with how many developers and publishers we can get into our ecosystem and really just maintain this dominance. I want to go to Eric Jackson though, because I'm Enrique at this point in time, Mr. Anti-Consumer himself. Oh, are you back?
My buddy.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, you still buying, man.
All right,
Get back to the Matrix, Enrique. Eric, what's your thoughts here, man? Because like he's an exclusive. Like, it's not the White Spider. This is just Spider-Man. This is different. It might not even be voiced by Yuri. Isn't that strike you odd?
I say it's Sony handling business, and like you said, it's two companies on two different paths, two different things. Now, if you kind of really look at the different philosophies, it kind of makes sense. Like you said, Microsoft is trying to be all inclusive. Why? Because that benefits their services plan and the way that they want to go about things. So it doesn't really truly make sense for them to do that. But at the same time, you are still, it's like we talked about before we went live, you may say that you're not in competition with Sony, but consumers say different because you still have a box on the market. So when you don't have so as long as you have a box on the market, a hardware box that says Xbox on it, you are still competition with Sony, who has a box on the market. When you're done with that box and you have PC and you have cloud and whatever, that's a whole different story. So again, I will say, no, it's not anti-consumer because it's a company who decided we want to get attention on us. It's no different than what Netflix does. It's no different than what Amazon, HBO Max. They go out and they grab things to bring to their service to keep people there. Hulu dropped the bag off for Seinfeld. They got it. Right. HBO Max is dropping the bag off to get Harry Potter and all this other stuff. They went and got it. Sony's doing the same thing. What's attractive to get people to come over here? Now, Slow-Mo just posed the question, like, if this is the kind of thing that you want, why you keep getting punched in the mouth? It's on Xbox consumers to say, this is what we want. This is what we want to have. But they don't want to do that because they're more concerned with flame warring. And the fact of the matter is you have a gentleman, and Phil, who's at the head of this thing, who has a philosophy. He's imposed his philosophy on this company. If you're deciding that as a consumer of Xbox that you're with his philosophy, or maybe you're doing it because you feel you're so loyal and you got to roll with it, it's on you. Then you go right down that kumbaya with him. You accept his philosophy and you roll with it. And you stop telling people who do want to fight and say, no, I want this kind of thing because I feel it's important to me. Stop trying to shut them up.
And I think you bring up a really good point that I didn't think about, which is just like, like the Netflix Hulu wars of like people purchasing up old IP to make sure that they have something.
But I don't know. The difference there would be like if you were to get Seinfeld, if everybody were to get Seinfeld, but you didn't get Seinfeld with George Costanza. It's that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, this could also kind of be like, remember back in the day with Soul Calibur, where they would have a new DLC character for each platform. There was Link, there was Spawn, there was
Darth Vader, I believe.
Darth Vader, Yoda. Like you could say like, all right, well, look, I really like Spawn. I'm gonna get it on Xbox because that one's gonna have Spawn. Like what I'm saying about stop getting punched in the face and then taking it with a smile is go to Square Enix and like, hey, look. I don't know how it got to the point where Spider-Man is only going to be on PlayStation. But look, we don't want Hawkeye because that's the only other Avenger, DLC Avenger we know about. You could keep him.
Can we get Black Panther or something?
Yeah. Give us Black Panther or something.
I don't know if it works that way because Sony has those marketing rights. Mm-hmm. But I want to pose this question right back to you, Eric. Let's just say Microsoft's like, guys, we're going to get the most aggressive. You want aggressive? Gloves off. We bought WB Games for like $1 trillion, some made up dollar amount, right? Like something outrageous. Now they have Mortal Kombat. They have the Batman license. And they go, you know what? Turn the faucet off on your PlayStation players. These games are only exclusive on Xbox. More importantly,
but I
Mortal
don't think
Kombat.
they'll even do that. That's how
they
bad
wouldn't.
It is.
No, they wouldn't. Right?
They wouldn't. But are you going to keep that same energy? Going, all right. Well, I guess I'm buying Xbox for Mortal Kombat, or are you going to be like, well, shit, these games have a legacy on PlayStation, right? They have a legacy on this brand, and you're just going to take it away? Are you going to keep that type of mentality?
I think the difference here is if Sony were to buy the IP itself, that Avengers IP, it would have been different. But no, this is Square Enix's multi-platform game. Yeah. I don't think they should be keeping whole characters off other, platforms unless they plan to do some sort of exclusive character on each or something. I don't know. I don't even like that. I personally think that for your $60, you should get the same treatment as everybody else.
So the question is this.
Shit, I forgot Forte. I'm a bad host. I'm sorry.
You're good. So the question is this. Who controls Marvel when it comes to video games?
Disney
does. Yeah. Who's not to know that, like I said, we were talking about this yesterday, Slow-Mo, about the fact that a lot of this stuff was probably brokered back during the movie rights when they were going back and forth with that. And that's how they got Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man PS4, because they allowed their version of Spider-Man to go see in the MCU. Who was to say that it wasn't Square Enix that did this, but part of the deal for Marvel to make a game through Square Enix and make it a Marvel's Avenger game, that Spider-Man had to be included? And if that's the case, and Sony has some type of marketing deal or some type of rights to make like the Spider-Man games for like a couple of years, like they've been doing. Yeah. Who's to say that Marvel was like, we want to have Spider-Man in this game? Sony was like, yeah, that's fine as long as he's not on Xbox platforms. And then Marvel was like, okay, that's what we're going to do, because they already have a working relationship with each other. Square Enix might be as funny as it sounds, they may be the casualty of war at all of this, because they're just the ones making the game. But this might have been brokered on the higher end just because Marvel wants Spider-Man to be a part of that game. And if they have to go through Sony to do it, Sony's going to get everything they want out of that deal just in that regard.
And hey guys, real quick, can you hear me?
Thing. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're not roboting. Go for it, dude.
Okay, you know, right, am I botting?
No, go.
All right, you know what? So yeah, I figured out what the problem was. It was my I have this software that I use for my Yeti, so I just went straight Yeti. Anyhow, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish your thoughts there, Mr.
Botting.
But like, there's so many layers. No, you're fine.
Botting your body. I'm like, oh.
There's so many layers to this that like it could be like the way the creative director kind of like was talking about it, which was it's a very confusing quote, or else I'd pull it up. But like the way he was talking about it was like, yeah, we had to ask Marvel, which they then had to ask Sony, and it kind of seems like it could have been. Yes, like they wanted to bring Spider-Man in. They talked to Marvel. Marvel's like, listen, we got this weird won't we, sexual tension with Sony when it comes to Spider-Man. It's kind of hot, guys. It's like really hot. Anyway, but so we have to kind of meet in the middle here. And listen, real talk, if this just comes down to, Tom Holland gets another MCU movie, fine, dude. Make Spider-Man exclusive for life. I don't care, as long as it doesn't go to Sony Pictures.
Because Well, the only reason I use that as like a stepping stone is the fact that last year when they were talking about this game, they already announced that PlayStation was going to get some unannounced. They said we got some really good things in store for PlayStation.
And we already kind of assumed it was Spider-Man too. It's like, it's probably Spider-Man.
We did.
Yeah. So then it could be like, Well, at the same exact time, Sony Pictures it's a subsidiary, it's a different company. So like, does that, what really transfers over?
But
Did you
we
guys-
all know, even knowing Sony is in the subsidiary, like you said, the motion picture side, but we all know what pays the bills for Sony.
Yeah. Did you guys hear that story today about some insider that was saying that if Xbox and PC gamers are mad about this, just wait because Sony's about to piss a lot of people off throughout
Yep.
the year?
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah. So apparently, I did hear a long time ago, Sony's going to be super aggressive. So when Jim Ryan said, "Hey, we want to sell PlayStation 5s,"
doing it.
Yeah, and so this is part of that plan. Like
that quote came from the lead marketing guy at Sony.
Okay, so but that's like they're in it to win it. Like they so apparently the next Final Fantasy 16 is going to be a timed exclusive, and apparently they've locked up some other big third party deals that are unannounced from what I've heard. Again, I don't know. This is all speculation, but yeah, there's going to be some things that are going to be like timed exclusives.
I'm a
like
multi-console owner, and I hate this shit. I hate it. I think it's terrible business. I don't like it at all. I understand it's business, but it sucks.
I mean, but it's no different from like I always say, it's no different from like Sony buying Insomniac or Microsoft buying.
Oh, and remember when Microsoft had. Yeah, Microsoft. Well, I think the buying studios is a lot different than a multi-platform game with specific features and stuff ripped out. Yeah, I think it's different.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is okay. So what I mean is that when you're buying a studio that's a third party studio and you're bringing it into under your roof, if you will, you're still taking away the option, or you're still taking away those games from being on multiple platforms.
But at that point, they're no longer multi-platform. I get it. Now that's business. But here you're taking a multi-platform game and saying, no, I want this and this exclusive to my console, and they're allowing that. And that's the thing that people have to really understand. These companies, they're all slimy, okay, to a certain degree.
Yes.
We can't say that Microsoft doesn't do any bad or whatever. They've done a lot in the past, and they probably continue to do so behind the scenes. We just don't see all of it. Okay. Right. But who knows what's going to happen with gold, right? We still don't know what's going on there.
Yeah. We don't know.
But I think that in the end, people have to realize that these companies are all about themselves, about making money.
Oh,
at the end
absolutely.
Of the day. And so I get that, but it's up. If you want to generate any anger, you have to generate towards these multi-platform companies that are allowing themselves to be duped by the money bag or to take that bag for, in exchange for, a character that's exclusive to yours or whatever. I don't even like timed exclusive stuff, but I can tolerate that way more than I can something like this.
Also, just announced your Astro controller, the cool one that looks like it's from the Terminator, will play on your PlayStation 5. So if you paid for that $200 controller that's uncomfortable, don't worry, you'll be uncomfortable when you're playing it on PS5.
Nice. All right. But it's I will say this though, and I do feel for the people that are looking to play as Spider-Man. Maybe they only own the Xbox and on PC. And now they don't have that option. So I definitely feel for that. Like if Spider-Man's one of your favorite Marvel characters,
you do have the option. You do have the option. People need to stop saying you don't have the option. You do. As a consumer, you have the option. Either you go buy the console or you don't. That's your option.
Well, I mean, but if you don't want to buy the console, which one is
important to you, Spider-Man or playing on PC or Xbox? Which one?
Well, look, there's a good number of the people that are complaining. There are a good number of the people that are complaining that always talk about the fact that they have multiple consoles. So what is it to complain about? Because get it on PlayStation. Like you always talk about how you have all these consoles. You're neutral. You're not a fanboy in this stuff. Cool. Here's the other code. It's right there. You just boot up your PlayStation and play it on there. What's the problem?
Yeah.
You still have access.
Let's say this. Let's say you're a PC guy and you like the hardware and you like the fact that you can play at 120 frames on that Avengers game, and you don't want to settle for that other game on the PlayStation 5 running at say 30.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's my dilemma. That's my dilemma. And I've been looking at it like, okay, I was going to get this on PC. I still haven't made my decision yet whether I'm going to still get it on PC, because especially consider the fact that a lot of this stuff isn't coming out until next year. So I'll have a PS5 by then. And then if I'm playing it
slow mo, you got to make a decision early though.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, look,
are you buying PC no matter what day one?
Well, I was going to buy the game day one because I was already interested in the game well before this. So, like, I was going to get it on PC day one. Now, what my decision is, what I'm deciding between is whether I'm just going to get it on PlayStation 4 and then do that free upgrade to PS5 when I get PS5, or if I'm going to get it, depending on how much I like it, on PC. and then when the Spider-Man stuff comes out, I'll just buy it again on PlayStation 5.
How do you feel though if, let's say, the Xbox version has a certain character that you wanted after you bought it for the PlayStation or, you know, the PC or whatnot, and they all have different versions of characters and stuff, and you're like, then I got to buy 3?
I ain't buying.
Well, I would at that point I would make the decision on which one I actually wanted. Which I would not begrudge Sony for doing that, nor would I begrudge Microsoft for retaliating and getting their own exclusive character. I think they should. Because at this point, you can talk to your blue in the face about how this is wrong, but they doing it and they've been doing it for years. It's not.
Do you want it to continue though? Do you want it to be a trend that continues on? I don't. I don't like that.
Personally, no. But I'm a realist in this, and I know that it's not going to change. So Microsoft should do what they can to secure what they can to satisfy their community and give them something to be proud of, like I said, a Black Panther or something, have that exclusive to your platform. And like otherwise you're just going to continue to keep losing out when it comes to these exclusives. You're going to continue to get your community being upset that you're not getting these kind of exclusives and they're paying the same price for less content.
Slow-mo, do you think it's more so if you think in part it's the community also being upset that, like, hey, wait a minute, we're not getting anything, why are we getting anything? Do you think that's part of it too?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely part of it, but it's it's not, there's nothing wrong with feeling that way. It's nothing wrong with feeling like, wow, like I was going to get this on Xbox, so especially if you already pre-ordered. I was going to buy this on Xbox. Now, like, I'm finding out that, like, you're getting exclusive stuff to the other platform. But all I'm saying is that, like, if you already had the other platform, you just, cancel your pre-order it on PlayStation. Like,
if that content is that compelling to you that you feel like you're losing out and you already have the other platform, just switch to the other platform. Why is that such a big deal?
And B, that's I do think to some extent, I think people, if people really want to play Spider-Man, we've all been in that position where there's something that we want and we want it really bad. We're gonna go out and get it, and I think there's gonna be people, and that's what Sony wants. Like that's the goal here. Like they want you to make that decision. If you really want this game or really want that character, and if you're really like passionate about it, like super passionate, you're probably gonna make the leap and say, you know what, I'm gonna buy the PlayStation because I want that character so bad.
And that's what happened with Spider-Man. Spider-Man PS4. It was like pulling teeth with some people. A lot of people were really angry. It's like previous games, multi-platform. Why is this exclusive? This, that, and the other thing. And look, the game sold. It's the best-selling superhero game a year into the market. So like, it goes to show that people will jump, and Sony sees that, and they've seen it with games like Destiny. They've seen it with things like Spider-Man PS4. As much as this does suck, it does suck, guys. It's something that works, and I think you're not seeing so many people upset about it because look, there's over 112 PS4s out there. Potential players. There's 50 million Xbox folks. So you're seeing a limited amount of outrage. You're seeing a lot of, like, myself included, going, yeah, this sucks, but I'm not affected, so all right. And then you're seeing it from Xbox folks going, this sucks, this is awful, and then the break off going, and Phil, you need to do something about this. It's like Phil's their parent, and they're gonna call the PlayStation mom.
That's funny.
I think this. I think as the multi-cons. Oh, go ahead, real quick.
I just wanted to say, just real quick. I find it very humorous that prior to this news coming out, the overall sentiment on Marvel and on Square Enix's Marvel Avengers was that game is mid. It's trash. It's going
Mid-level
to bomb.
exception, baby.
It looked terrible.
Oh, man,
What's up with those faces? What's up with Black Widow's jawline? What's up with all this? Like,
Yo, Thor looked kind of booty. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Look, Spider-Man's exclusive. Now everyone's like, well, hey, man, I was going to play this.
I think it's more. I think that's where the fanboyism comes in. I think it's more the fanboys that want to, console war. And, because I mean, for me, even I said earlier that I don't even like, I'm not attached to this game. Now I'm saying that I don't want this to be a continuing trend, but I don't really care. Like, this is not my game or anything. Like, I'm not attached to it at all. And
that's how I feel.
But,
if
if this was something that like I really like to play, and then I find out that, as a multi-console owner that, say the Xbox gets a certain character on a game that I want to play. Let's say Destiny gets a certain character. And I'm on the PlayStation playing it, and I know this is kind of Destiny doesn't really work here, but any other game.
No. You can make it fair.
The fact is, I have to choose then, what console? Like, I have to buy that other version now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the reason why I played Destiny on PlayStation. Was all the exclusive strikes and shit. Like, that is like saying, hey guys, we're making Destiny 3. Warlock, Titan, all Hunter, they're all here. We have a cool new class called the Spartan, and they do crazy flips and shit. They're doing all sorts of like acrobats, and it's exclusive on Xbox.
They parkour, they wall run.
Yeah, they wall run. Like they save Shizzle, and everybody loses their mind. Like, they're doing all sorts of things, and it's locked behind Xbox.
So
I'm telling you right now. If 2K were to do this, where Magic was on PlayStation and Jordan was on Xbox and Bird was on PC, I don't care what happens. I'm buying all the versions. I'm getting all the content. I don't care. As a multi-console consumer, I'm buying all the versions because that's the game that I'm into. That's the game that I play.
Yeah. I kind of want to go back to like Bad Bit asked a question like a while ago. We never really dove into it, but you asked about like Mortal Kombat, right?
Yeah,
like if they bought them and they got Mortal Kombat, but let's say they decided they were going to keep Mortal Kombat multiplayer because that's how it goes. But they decided to do the thing that people have been talking about, Killer Instinct versus Mortal Kombat, right? And it's exclusive to Xbox. How people are going to feel about that?
You said what?
I mean,
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Well, they own Killer Instinct, so
no, but I'm saying,
but
if they did that game and they made it exclusive, now you got Scorpion and Sub-Zero and everybody else over on this platform.
I mean, we could talk about Killer Instinct, but like that's a real talk. That's an N64 game, right? We're not really. We don't really give a shit about Perfect Dark. Like, I don't get me wrong. When I see Joanna Dark, I will lose my shit because I'm a Nintendo, fanboy at heart when I was a kid.
Right.
So like, they need to make us care about those things differently. But like, when it comes to Mortal Kombat, that's a lineage. That's a huge IP. That's something that's spanning from N64 to Super Nintendo. To PS1 to PS2 to PS3 to PS4, like that long line, and then to suddenly go, and the faucet's turned off, and you can still play it on your PS4. You got options. It does.
Right.
I mean, we got to keep that energy if we're okay with this,
Mr. Babbitt. You know what's interesting? Somebody brought up Destiny. Like with Destiny, I knew about the weapons, Hawk Moon, and the ray, extra strike and things, and
the armor.
And the armor. But you know what? I made a decision. I could play it on PlayStation or I could play it on Xbox. Yes, I knew PlayStation had the weapons that were exclusive and yada yada yada, right? But I actually made the decision. I'm going to go play Destiny where most of my friends are playing, and that was on the Xbox at the time.
Yep.
And I didn't enjoy the game any less.
Yeah, same here.
By not having those weapons, those missions. I mean, and so I think at the end of the day, look, I understand people being upset, but at the end of the day, though, I think if you own it on Xbox and you're looking forward to this game, you're probably just going to enjoy it anyway.
Yeah.
I just don't think they're going to make like with Spider-Man not being a main character that's going to be in the game day one, I just think everything they're going to add with him is going to be substantial, but it's not going to be to the point where it's going to like break your game if you didn't have him on another platform. Because I feel the same way. Like the big thing with Destiny is like, yeah, I looked over, it's like, oh man, they got all these cool things over there, but guess what? I still enjoyed every minute of every time that I played Destiny, and I didn't really even think about that stuff until it was about time for it to come over to the system and stuff. But even then, I don't even care about those strikes or anything. It's like,
those strikes are usually ass.
Like
but
the
again,
multiplayer maps and stuff like that. The gear was trash. So
right, but the point though is moot, because like to go back to what Brad was saying, we shouldn't even be having to contemplate. We shouldn't be having to have the scale because we both bought Destiny, right? That is the same game. But someone paid to section off a portion of it for their fan base to screw over 2/3 for them to carry over. I'm leaning on with you, Fonz. Where like, yeah, this sucks, but at the same exact time, I'm
but it's timed. You know what I'm saying? Timed is different. But I think that at the end of the day, what I want people to understand though is this situation. You don't be looking at Sony for being cutthroat here, because both companies are going to be cutthroat in their own ways. You need to be looking at the multi-platform company themselves that is allowing this to happen. If you're really angry at this, if you're truly angry, that's where you should focus your attention. The fact that they're letting it happen. Now, Sony isn't the ones to be mad at here. It's Square Enix, if you're going to be mad. But
Crystal Dynamics,
I still think that a lot of it is just fake outrage. I think it's fanboy stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. B, you were to say something? Then go ahead, B.
No, I was going to say, we keep bringing up the point about, you spent your $60 and, getting an inferior product. But like, if you look at anything else, you know what I mean? We were just talking about phones earlier today. You know what I mean? If you look at the different characters that are going to carry that phone, they're all going to offer something different, regardless of what the price of the phone is. You know what I mean? The price of the phone is going to be the same across the board.
Yeah.
But if you go to T-Mobile, they're going to offer you something different, or they're going to throw in a free headset.
Yeah, throw in Netflix for free and whatnot.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So that kind of goes across the board. You know what I mean? It just depends on what you get from that particular carrier.
It just shows how faceted how this approach is, because you could take it like that and be like, and that's totally, I could see that argument. I could also see the argument of going, I bought this game, it should be the same across the board. Like, and then I could see the other thing of like, no, blame the person that's actually making this game for allowing these things to happen. It is fascinating that I think the more I'm listening, the more it's like, yeah, everybody's kind of right. Everybody's making really strong points where I'm like, I'm agreeing with all of it,
Well, it's like Fonz kind of threw it out of it too, man. Like, you go to a car dealership, you could buy a model of a car, and there's one above yours that has a limited feature from some other partner or whatever, but maybe that's out of your price range. Is it anti-consumer for them to sell that?
I mean,
there are cars that are at the same price ranges, and some have more features than others. Is that anti-consumer?
Right.
No.
Right.
I mean, like, I don't like
Jordan's anti-consumer.
Well, maybe, but like, I don't like to brag, but like, I own a Toyota Corolla. I know I'm swimming in the cash, and it doesn't have CarPlay, right? And as an iPhone user, I love CarPlay, and I have to use their shitty little thing, and there's no update for it. But my mother, she bought a Camry. She immediately scratched it within 3 months. Or fucked up the bumper. It was awful, but nonetheless had the same situation. And then 3 months down the line, they're just like, we're updating this version, and it's going to include CarPlay. It's really cool for Toyota to do that. I'm not expecting that on my Corolla though, because it is what it is. So like, I can understand where everybody's coming from here, where it's in terms of like, as an Xbox fan, you're still getting 90% of this game. And to say what Forte was saying as well was just like, it's probably most of the Spider-Man missions are going to be throwaway anyway. We are focusing on the Avengers. The Avengers are the billion-dollar franchise. Like the focus is on them. And at the same exact time, we can't fault Sony for going, hey, listen, we want to make our platform the place to play, at least for the first 2 to 3 years, and pay out that money. And you can't blame at the same exact time a little bit Square Enix on the fact of like, dude, if they're shelling out like your whole, marketing for your game, like, can you fault them for not taking that?
No, I mean, Batman, any developer publisher is going to take that money because it reduces that financial risk. It takes that burden off of them.
Yeah, I'm just saying that if you're really honestly mad at anybody, that's where you should focus your attention. Not Sony. Sony's going to do what they're going to do. I mean, they're going to be cutthroat, just like Microsoft. They'll do the same thing, People were pissed off when, do you remember when Microsoft had that exclusive deal with Tomb Raider for a while?
Tomb Raider, yeah.
They were mad at that,
I remember that, yeah. People were hot about that. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question about that, Fonz, though. I'm sorry, Slow-Mo. Let me ask.
Right.
When they did that move, if that thing would have went gangbusters, and I'm talking about sold units and sold consoles, would that energy be the same? Because it didn't really light anything on fire.
No, it didn't. I don't know. And I think it comes down to the developer for allowing it to happen, but again, they got that bag, just like you guys were talking about. So
right, because Phil, I remember Phil saying that move happened because at that time Uncharted 4 was supposed to drop in the fall.
Yeah,
and then it got delayed, and it was kind of sort of having that same kind of game in place for the holidays and everything else. So it's again, you start making different moves because of how things are kind of moving for you.
I think it would have been a bigger difference had they made that like Tomb Raider totally exclusive forever. Mm-hmm. That would have been a bigger impact.
Well, they were cagey with the information when they first.
At first, yeah, and that's why people were so pissed off.
Yeah, or is it exclusive or is it timed? And
yeah,
they really wouldn't say. Yeah, it was crazy. No, when I say crazy, it was crazy how people were reacting to it.
Yeah.
When they announced it, I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna play Tomb Raider on Xbox.
That's what I took it too. I'm like, cool. I'll play it on Xbox. It's just, this thing is, and again, I get all sides. I think, like Mr. Babbitt said, there's some definitely good points being brought up here. But I do think
it's not worth calling the police over, though.
No, definitely not. And I think if you benchmark this versus what's going on in this wonderful year of 2020, in the grand scheme of things, it's really not. So
people have been home too long, man.
People have been home too long. That's part of it. I know I have. I caught myself talking to myself today. I was like, wait a minute, having a conversation. What the hell's going on?
Enrique, you make a good point. Wait, I am Enrique.
Yeah, exactly. Enrique, what? Yeah, I'm talking to myself like third person. It's nuts. So, but no, it's look, and I think who's to say? We might see Microsoft do something like this down the line too. They have a platform to sell. They may lock in some deals. Where they maybe get something to Game Pass.
I got a question there because I don't even know for sure, but that Outer Worlds game is the DLC coming to PlayStation as well?
Yes, but you do have to pay for it. Yeah.
Okay, no. That goes without saying because even with Game Pass, you're paying for Game Pass.
All right, it's just discounted, right? Is that the
it's discounted, but no, I just wanted to make sure because that situation could have been brought up had you didn't get it in the PlayStation, but
even with Psychonauts, they bought Double Fine. Psychonauts is coming to PS4.
Psychonauts, it is.
I heard some of those companies that they did purchase had games in the works already, and multi-platform deals were still in effect, and that was one of them. Psychonauts. People scoff and laugh at it and stuff, but that was a decent game back in the day. Her favorite games. So
Psychonauts is awesome, man. Yeah, Tim Schafer's I think one of the most talented developers. That's my opinion at least, but I think Double Fine's up there in terms of talent. Remember Fandango and
for me, I think with Xbox, I think Obsidian is their best developers by far.
I would agree.
Great company in Obsidian. That Avowed is going to be something special.
Dude, I can't wait for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that got me excited in the nether regions when I saw that trailer.
The only
I'm not
thing that
gonna
got me excited in that show, by the way,
lie. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
that the show was whack.
Now, did you have anybody coming in your DMs going, "Hey, listen, I didn't want to say it in chat." But
No, we all
Okay.
pretty much hated the show on RDX. We didn't like it.
Yeah.
But
you guys went
I
pretty
went
hard
in
on
harder
Halo.
than they did. I think Tim liked it. Tim liked it, but he likes anything.
Hey, but it wasn't a terrible. Like I will say this: the one good thing that came out of that show was I think variety that they're throwing into Game Pass, so they're throwing games into Game Pass. I think that more than anything else probably
but
the one
that's the
solid
problem
thing.
though, right? It was a Game Pass show. It wasn't a showcase that I was told by Mr. Phil Spencer. He told me, he said several times in interviews that this was going to showcase the power of the Series X.
World premiere. Yep, exactly.
World premiere, and it showed no power.
And the slip space engine let us down. I mean,
yes, it did. Hey, but at least we got the Craig meme out of it. That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
I don't even have
I'm excited
with the way Halo looks necessarily. Like I'm okay with it. Like the character models for me, with the humans, like the guy with the beard, that I have a problem with. But like the character models outside of that, fine, I could deal with that. It reminds me of Evolved. That's great. Combat Evolved, but the problem is that the textures that were missing and the muddy grass and how there was details missing and how there was so much pop in, and that stuff really irritated me.
Yeah.
And I think they just needed to be out front and go, "Hey, listen, this is from a build from 6 months ago. Like, just build us, like, give us these level that, like, listen."
But if you have to say that ahead of time, shouldn't you just not?
I mean, that is. I mean, I think
Honey, I'm warning you. I'm a little gassy tonight, but
I'm constipated. All right, no, like the whole, like I think there's a PR way to approach.
This never happens
that.
to me.
Yeah, never happens. I'm never this nervous. Like, for Sony, like talk as much shit as you want about like this state of play that I saw a lot of people. That tweet was just like, here's what we're gonna show: PS4, PSVR. We're not talking about price, business, or fucking the idea of a PS5. Get that out of your mind. But at the same exact time, get a little thought in your mind because we're gonna give you some updates. Like they gave us a slew of information of like setting that expectation. If Microsoft just went like, Thursday, hey, listen, we're showing you 22 plus games that will be day and date on Game Pass. They will be working at the best fidelity with the Series X. We're under COVID, so these teams are working their best to give you these products at the best quality they can. Like there's a PR way to kind of spin that to set an expectation.
See, you don't even have to go through all that, but you also have to look at the other side and say, don't go running your mouth. Don't go casting checks that your ass,
Aaron Greenberg.
Right.
I love you, Aaron Greenberg. I love you. I think Aaron's a great dude, but like, don't go, hey, we're going to show you gameplay of the Xbox.
I know.
And then just show us shit. Like,
and nothing was running on the Series X. So,
right.
No, I said to the guys,
I didn't see anything that was that crazy at the Sony thing either. Like, I have yet to be wowed by next generation. And I think a lot of this, is due to COVID and all that stuff, and it makes sense. But the way that Phil Spencer was acting on all these interviews, he was leading me to believe that it was going to be something special with the Series X, and it just wasn't.
Yeah. Go ahead, E.
Problem.
I was going to say, I joked and told the guy, I said, yo, if they don't say anything before this show, the show's going to be lit. Mm-hmm. If they come out and start talking, it's going to be exactly what you've got every single time.
And that's what happened, more or less.
That's exactly what happens. And again, I mean, every time they start running, like you said, Aaron and Phil start running their mouths. Because Phil came out of the Sony thing, like after seeing the Sony show, like I feel really good. I feel really good.
He was referring to, I think he was referring specifically to the Series X, like, hey, I feel confident. Yeah, but then if you feel confident, you set the expectation that you're going to bring it.
Look, I'm not trying to go down that path. All I'm saying is, again, it's Halo, and I don't understand why everybody's sort of like, okay, everybody. I've seen people who can't stand Destiny, but now they're like, okay, if that's where they want to go with it with 343, that's cool. People that can't stand Fortnite, well, I'm okay with how the textures look and everything else. And it's like, it's Halo. Mm-hmm. It's their biggest franchise. And that's kind of how they rolled out with it. And then again, I said, depending on who you talk to, they said 343 has not really truly put their stamp on and delivered a Halo. Maybe this is their way of putting their stamp on it. I don't know. But it's like, now we're going to trust them to do a completely open world and deliver all the content and do all this other stuff that people looked at Anthem and went, that ain't going to work.
I don't trust 343 at all.
Trust that immediate company if y'all want to.
343 has yet to prove anything to me other than they make an inferior Halo game.
Wow.
But I still say, why do people have all these questions for Miles Morales, but they have no questions for 343 on Halo?
I've been questioning 343 and I've said it, and I've got a lot of hate for saying it. 343, I have no faith in them.
Wow.
I don't look, I want them to prove me wrong with Infinite. I totally
we all do, Jay.
I'm not wishing evil on that game.
We all do.
I honestly don't have any faith in them. Halo 4 to me sucked. Halo 5 was even worse. And I'm talking campaigns here, not multiplayer.
Multiplayer Halo 5 was actually pretty good, but I agree with you on the campaign. Yeah,
both awful.
I loved Halo 4's campaign.
I like
Halo 5's
Prometheans, man, and Cortana going nuts. Nah, that you can have that.
Prometheans. Listen,
you
with the Prometheans.
Cortana going nuts.
Hey, they got the Metroid crew working on that, man. That was
and then you got Cortana touching Master Chief. I've been waiting to touch you for so long. Like, this is a love story here.
It became
what the
a
hell was going on there?
Like a telenovela.
It was just wrong. and then those Prometheans were cheap as hell. They did the knights would disappear as soon as you were about to kill them. Like teleport.
I hated that.
I hated that.
It's like they were trolling you on purpose.
Yeah, look. 343 has a real big problem on their hands because they have not proven anything. They have worsened the AI in the game. The AI has never been great with 343, and it was really good with Bungie back in the day. I just look. They ended up with the cheap parlor tricks with the Prometheans disappearing, teleporting, and stuff. But no, you have to show that great AI, that flanking and stuff that the elite used to do back in the day with Halo. It's just a different game, man. 343 is just a sorry ass development team, and they have a lot to prove.
Well, I mean,
I hope they prove it, man. I really do.
When it comes to 343 and their issues, it's essentially that they like this talk that came out from Glassdoor about how they rely so heavily on contractors. It's very hard to.
Quick. Let me interrupt you. I'll give you the last word. I got to get going here. We got to wrap up. But go ahead, man.
Yeah, it's very difficult in order to build some continuity and build up a culture within the company and have improvement from game to game when contractors don't move on to the next game. They're either being laid off right before the game hits gold, or they're laid off after the game launches. And so it's that causes more confusion when you hire in more contractors once again to work on the next game, and they're working off of work code and other things that have been done by people who aren't even there anymore, and they don't even understand half of what they're looking at. So it's just, I don't see any improvement. I think the big issue with 343 is not the talent of the developers, it's the people in charge that are mismanaging that development studio. And
Ross.
I agree with that.
So people got to fall on their sword at some point. You keep failing, eventually you run out of excuses. Like, this is a big franchise, a big IP. You have a built-in fan base that is guaranteed to get your game every single time. They just want you to deliver. And so far, you have yet to do that. And this is strike three.
Mm-hmm.
If it's over, it's over. Get up out of here.
Well said, man.
I've said if they can't get this one right, Halo is essentially dead. If they want to keep it alive, they've got to give it to another dev team.
And that terrifies me because Halo is, I always prop up Halo as like, that is the game that made me a gamer. That is Xbox. That is the thing. That is the property that made me love that platform for 10 plus years. I have so many fond memories of it. That's why I look at what they have here, popping aside, I will give them the benefit of the doubt because the gameplay I saw did excite me. And did give me hope, but I am also aware of 343's track record with me of, yes, I'm with you, Fonz. They have never lived up in one way, shape, or form, never were able to live up to Bungie, whether it's in the single player department or in the multiplayer department. It's just, they always fall short somehow, and it sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think all of us on this panel. We've all played Halo Combat Evolved. That was probably our first experience on the Xbox, and we all, even though we're being critical, we all want to see this game do well.
Yeah,
we do. We really do. But it's a little nerve wracking right now as it stands with that franchise. But on that note, do need to wrap up the show. I want to apologize for the issues I was having. It was actually something. I use a like virtual voice audio mixer, and I think that was causing the issue. So once I turned that off, I was troubleshooting, and I turned that off, I was like, oh, it works now. So anyhow,
PC gaming,
yeah, PC, right? PC's great. PC can be a pain in the ass at the same time. So but no, I want to give a big shout out to everyone in the live chat. By the way, did someone pick up that code that we dropped in the live chat?
What was the code? What was the code for?
I dropped a Xbox code in there. So I don't know if anyone. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone picked it up, but it was just a $25. I think maybe was that Cryptopsy? Maybe he got it. I don't know. All right. Anyhow, I want to say thank you again to everyone watching the show tonight. Sorry for the technical difficulties I was having earlier, and but appreciate you guys. Remember, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also want to give a big shout out to our guest this evening, Jay Fonzarelli.
He said he didn't get it.
Who didn't get it?
Cryptopsy.
Oh, he didn't get it. Okay, somebody got it.
Who got it?
Yeah, somebody got it. But yeah, I want to give a big shout out to our guest, Jay Fonz, the Grounded Gamer. Fonz, man, great having you on Brap, dude. We got to get you back on again because, like I said, I was having technical difficulties, and I know you said you might come in, but I know today's your birthday. You were celebrating your birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way. And we got to get you back on because I want to, shoot the shit with you, man.
I want to be back on when there's more positive stuff to talk about. All the negative stuff sucks, man.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. Yeah, but Jay, man, let everyone know where they can find you, man.
You can find me at The Grounded Gamer here on YouTube. Make weekly videos, sometimes 1, 2, sometimes 3 videos a week. It depends. And also Jay Fonzarelli on Twitter. And that's about it.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you again.
Actually, you can find me in RDX on Tuesdays. That's an Xbox-centric podcast on Dealer Gaming's channel. We do that at 8 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday.
Yep. All right, man. Awesome, man. Well, like I said, man, we got to get you back on. And you're right. Hopefully, there's better news next time we have you on. Something more.
Hopefully tomorrow, something
is
cool.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully. Exactly. So, but always a pleasure, Fonz, man. Appreciate it. Hey, Loot Chest Radio, man. I miss those days, man.
Yeah, I remember recording with you guys, and
that was a good time, man.
Everybody just left me though, so I just had to give it up.
Yeah. But also Mr. Badbit, man, dude, thank you as always, man. Love having you on.
Same.
Let everyone find you, man.
Yeah, so you can find me over at Mr. Badbit on Twitter. And you can find me over at Badbit Games, where you talk about all things game news, reviews, and unboxings over at Badbit Games. And also the video version of my podcast, The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast made by the players for the players, where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest, the greatest in all things PlayStation each and every Thursday. You can find that again on Badbit Games on YouTube, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find us there. It's been a gosh dang treat, Brap. Every time I'm on this show, I love it so very much. Thank you so much for your generosity. I'm sorry for having you sounded like Optimus Prime. I'm sorry about that. I hope the Autobots won. One thing, the panel for dealing with me talking so freaking much. Thank you all so freaking much. Y'all are amazing. So thank you.
No, man.
Jay and Fonz, nice to meet you, by the way. Awesome insight, man. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Awesome. And then we have PlayStation Made Me Do It, Gaming Forte. Forte, let everyone know they can find you, man.
Yo, so I'm about to go hook up this speaker because I'm itching to do it. So Gaming Forte everywhere, YouTube and Twitter. Shout out to Fonz. Love you, man. Haven't got a chance to talk to you as much as I love talking to you. Bagbit, thanks for coming through, man. Always an amazing job that you do on all the shows you're on. And you can catch me at Gaming Forte on YouTube and Twitter. check me out with my boy Slow-Mo Backslap. We do shows every Tuesday. Don't know what the name of the show is going to be.
Oh, by the way, I do like that show. I listened to you guys the past couple of weeks, and I like you two together. Very good.
I appreciate that, man.
Man, yeah. Oh, that's what I like to hear.
So sometimes I think, now all we gotta do is to get Slow-Mo's technical difficulties fixed when he streams will be great.
Oh, look, man, look. That is not. Hey, that's my fault. But I'm gonna say it's not my fault this time because YouTube did some things, man. They changed some things up. Look, go ahead.
Yeah,
There's
but
something nice about just like the two of you talking. Like it's just like Rand and Jez, where it's not too many people talking over each other and stuff. It's nice to hear.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, to be honest, me and Slow-Mo just really complement each other really well, and that's something I noticed instantly when I first met him, and that's kind of why I gave him all the crap that I gave him, just to see if he could deal with the stuff I can say, and he learned that I could deal with the stuff he says. So I'm like, hey, let's do this. So that's what we did, man. But yeah, check us out on Tuesday, man. It's always a great time. And that's it, man. Thanks again for another great week, Enrique.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. It's certainly my pleasure, man. Love having you guys on. And like Font said, that show is just great. I really enjoy it. And then we have Slow-Mo Backslap, or Slow-Mo Damas, as he's referred to.
Today I was Rogue Agent Slow-Mo, and that's not a reference to the Division, but a reference to Rogue Company, which is the best multiplayer game that came out this year. Let me just say. Okay, yeah, but yeah. Great show, guys. Great chat. And you can find me on my own YouTube channel, Slow-Mo Backslap, and also on Forte's channel next Tuesday when we do our show again, and on Scumcast Saturdays 4 p.m. ish. Whenever Luca does when she wants to do it. So it's just 4 p.m. Eastern, and of course here every Wednesday. So yeah. Appreciate you.
Awesome, man. Absolutely, man. Appreciate you too, man. And then we have anti-consuming Eric Jackson. Where they can find you, man.
Oh yeah, another good show. Bad Bit, always great to have you come through. Fonz, has been a long time, but I always like talking to you, man. Like hearing your perspective on things. So thank you, gentlemen, for coming through.
Thank you, man. Thank you for the compliment.
No doubt, man. And just so people know, no, I'm not anti-consumer. I like proper consumerism. I just don't like people using anti-consumer as the new you're being toxic.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
yep.
But a good show, guys. Always like talking to all you guys, and you can see me Saturday nights on Gaming Perspective with the other guys, Nick and Sam and Jared. And other than that, you can find me on Twitter, EC Jackson with an X. And maybe one day I'll have a YouTube channel. I know Forte's been on me about that, so that might happen.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Dude, you should do it, man. That'd be awesome.
The voice of reason.
Yeah, the voice of reason. Anti-consuming Eric J. There you go. And then B Money. Let me know where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, you can find me everywhere. Same name, B Money 101. Appreciate Fonz coming through, man. It's been a long time. Happy birthday, man. Enjoy that time away from all this craziness on the internet.
Yep.
Mr. Badbit, appreciate you coming through as well. So see you guys next week, and look forward to State of Play tomorrow. Hopefully it's something interesting. I think it's their longest one yet. So let's see what they got.
Yeah, it should be definitely a good show. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are out. And please, everyone, have a great rest of the week. Stay positive. Enjoy gaming. If you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima and you have a PlayStation, you should definitely check that game out. That game is phenomenal. So good. So good. I think Fonz, you spent like
I put 100 hours into the game. Yeah. Over 100 hours.
Better than Red Dead, J. Fonz?
I unlocked everything I could.
Better than Red Dead, J. Fonz?
No, not in my opinion.
Okay, there you go.
I love the story too much in Red Dead, and the world in Red Dead I still love better. But no, this is the next best thing that I've played this generation. Honestly, since Red Dead, I have not found a game that that really sucked me away, but this one did, and I even like made a review on it on my channel recently. Yep.
Awesome. Yeah,
it's an awesome game.
Yeah, no,
definitely. If you want a PlayStation 4 and you haven't played this, why?
Exactly. Why? Yeah. All right. So everyone, enjoy the rest of the week. Have fun gaming. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Roll out.
Chunk, 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 chunk.